America first are the most important. I don't believe in the trans movement. I believe everyone should be able to have their own rights and not push them on each other. I just know I would not stop supporting the GOP.
Okay, you want to...
I would stop supporting Trump.
Okay, but you would stop supporting Trump.
Yeah, if I saw him rape somebody, most certainly. Are we allowed to say the R word on here?
Yeah, how about just sexual violence, like sexual exploitation? If he sexually exploited somebody, if he sexually exploited somebody, you'd stop supporting them.
I feel like this whole world is sexual exploitation. So no, if I saw him SA somebody, but what about WAP? What about Cardi B WAP?
Whoa, Cardi B, dude.
Exploiting?
You're cracking me up. So dude, crazy. Well, wow, holy shit. So wow, okay, wow. So wow, so I'm sorry, that was like Cardi B WAP. That just came out of nowhere. So wow, okay, wow. Anyways,
exploitation.
The definition of sexual exploitation.
Balenciaga.
The definition of sexual exploitation would be to do something sexual to somebody unconsensually.
So
if he did something sexual to somebody unconsensually, would you stop supporting him as president? By the way, we can't hear you.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the... No, so your definition of exploitation is not actually correct.
Okay, I disagree. It's just...
Well, I just looked it up, and that's why I was silent, and that's not the exact definition.
Yeah, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you just have to refresh. OBS momentarily went down like 2 minutes ago. You just simply have to refresh your URL if you're on YouTube. But anyways, so I reason that to be the definition of sexual exploitation by first understanding. Okay, let me just run you through it. Do you accept that to sexually exploit somebody means to exploit somebody sexually?
Using a word in a definition is actually not proper. It's circumventing the issue, but yeah.
Well, we're not there yet. So you've agreed that sexual exploitation is to exploit somebody sexually. Fantastic. Do you now agree that exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody or something?
I mean, I would have to look up the exact definition of that, but perhaps yes. God, I'll say yes.
Do it. Okay, phenomenal. So if you accept that sexual exploitation is to exploit somebody sexually, and you also accept that exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody or something, then you would therefore accept that sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually.
You think he took advantage of Stormy Daniels? Is that what you're getting at? A stripper that took advantage of him?
We're not talking about Stormy Daniels. And she
then
wasn't
who are you referring to?
We'll get there.
Yeah. But she was a prostitute and a stripper.
So, no, she wasn't a prostitute or a stripper. She was a porn star. Those three things are different. But anyways, we're not talking about Stormy Daniels. So now that you've accepted that sexual exploitation is to exploit somebody sexually, and that exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody or something, do you therefore accept, yes or no, that sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually?
Yes.
Okay, so if Donald Trump unjustly took advantage of somebody sexually, or in other words, sexually exploited somebody, would you still support him as president?
No.
Here's Donald Trump admitting to sexually exploiting a lot of people by barging into their dressing rooms at Miss USA when they were naked to then look at their naked bodies unconsensually. This was on Howard Stern's radio show in 2005. Let's take a listen.
You could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Also, for everybody watching on YouTube, we are going to go ahead and restart the stream over there. I don't necessarily know why everything was broken, but we already got that stream restarted. But yeah, go ahead. Would you like to respond to that clip of Donald Trump admitting to sexual exploitation by admitting to barging into the dressing rooms of naked women at the beauty pageants in which he owned?
Did he say that he was able to go in there because he was the owner, or that he was trying to, or that he in any way gained profit or exploited them in any way? What did he do to them? What are you talking about in this clip that he did to them, that exploited them based on the definition we just understood?
Perfect. Give me one moment. Hello and welcome in for everybody tuning in. This is the 379th episode of the Dean Withers Show. For everybody joining us on YouTube, I appreciate you for being here. We had our stream go down, so we're going to private that first 49 minutes or so of it, and then we're just going to be on here for the rest of the day. For everybody tuning back in, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. If you've never been here before, we debate Trump supporters. We go over the crazy breaking news. If you want to talk, if you want to learn about the crazy breaking news that maybe took us around 10 to 20 minutes to go over, that's all going to be on the first VOD on the YouTube channel. But we're already in the middle of the debate, so for everybody who's tuning in on YouTube right now, we are talking to somebody who does not think, or is more so questioning the notion that Donald Trump sexually exploited women by barging into the dressing rooms at Miss USA. If you're a frequent viewer of the live stream, you've definitely heard this before. And we're at the point of agreeing that the definition of sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually. We just listened to the clip of Donald Trump say and admit that he was barging inside of the dressing rooms. And now we're trying to determine if that was sexual exploitation per the definition that we agreed to. So anyways, back to the debate. So you asked me, well, how was he exploiting them? Well, perfect answer. So
and
we
did
agreed.
he use the word barge?
So we agreed that the definition of sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually. He unjustly took advantage of them sexually by barging into their dressing rooms without their consent via the abuse of his position of power, to then abuse their position of vulnerability, feeling vulnerable enough because of the assumption of privacy to take their clothes off in front of other women, to then look at their naked bodies, which would amount to an unconsensual sexual act.
It's just that he didn't say barge and it wasn't without consent. Nobody ever had a problem with him going in and doing his job. Just as if, do you ever see those clips of there's all the sports athletes around naked, but the reporters are in there doing their job? It's the exact same thing. That's their job. Or a doctor going in, is he exploiting a woman when he has to do a breast exam? No, that's his job. When people have to come in to make sure that a PAP is being done right, and there are 4 people in there as they are training other college students, they're not being exploited. It is for the use of the job.
Yeah, this argument pisses me off. It literally makes me viscerally mad, but I'm kind of keeping that inside. So the difference between a scenario of Donald Trump barging into a private woman's only dressing room to then look at people naked and a male doctor giving a woman a breast exam would be the fact that in one scenario it's with consent, in the other scenario it's not with consent. And I don't think that you need to be too smart to understand the concept of why consent is, or the lack thereof, is going to be a necessary component of sexual exploitation. Now, you're not going to cut me off. You're not going to cut me off. You're not going to cut me off because I'm going to continue to speak. Now, overall, it seems like your argument is, well, it's his quote-unquote job. So, well, it doesn't seem like it is, because according to Donald Trump in the clip that we heard from him, at the end he says that, well, he got away with doing this. To get away with doing something means to break a rule, so that's him admitting that he broke a rule by entering into this space. And then, by the way, once he was in this space, what was he doing? Oh, he was just looking at their naked bodies. Would it ever be the job of a man to inspect the naked bodies of women who are about to go on stage with clothes on in their private spaces for them where they're not allowed, that they are barging into under the guise of a lie? Absolutely not. Stop treating this as if there's any validity in this being Donald Trump's job. No, it's only his quote-unquote job because the owner said it's his job, and guess what? He's the owner. So it seems like you are on board with the notion that Donald Trump can give Donald Trump the ability to do whatever he wants to whomever he wants, as long as he's self-describing it as his own job.
The definition that we defined earlier in the argument doesn't fall into that category. He didn't barge. You used the word barge. Did you use the word barge, or did he use the word barge? You did that to create your argument.
So I used the word barge because he said that he'd walk in because he's the owner, and he'd go in under the guise of doing a fake inspection because he allowed himself to go in. That would amount to unconsensual entry in violation of the implicit, in violation of the implicit agreement that men are not allowed into private women's only spaces. Therefore, it would amount to him barging in.
Men aren't allowed in women's places, but yet you're okay with men going into women's restrooms because they identify as a man. He didn't barge. He walked in to do a walkthrough. He never said anything about looking at their naked bodies. He said, it's beautiful women. It's a lot.
Okay. So
just like when I go in to do a testicle exam and I go, oh my gosh, that was a lot. He was like at a big old thing.
I hope that you should get fired from your job if you do that. If you leave doing testicle exams on male patients because you're a doctor, and then you will like publicly discuss how large their penis was, I think that you should get fired from your job. That is not professional. That is disgusting. I think that that's a violation of the privacy of the patient.
You're
I think
pretending
that's,
like I said something instead of having.
I just want to clarify. Like, yeah, if you do that, you should be fired immediately. But back to Donald Trump, the first thing that you brought up was trans women. Okay, well, we're not going to make this into a debate about trans women. We're going to stick on topic with a cis man walking into a space designed for women. Now, if you want to have that conversation about trans women, we'll happily do that with you. But we're just not going to do it right now with a pivot.
Because you lost again. Because you lost.
Well, no, if I wanted to give that a response, what I would say is that I think that we should separate restrooms on the basis of gender identity compared to biological sex, because when we allow trans women to use a women's restroom, we're also therefore saying that trans men should use a men's restroom, which then makes the women's restroom safer for everybody. Because if we rather separate the restrooms on the basis of sex, then we're saying that trans men who are biologically female should be going into the women's restroom, but because of the effect that testosterone has on any human body, male or female, then we're allowing people that look more fucking masculine than your average cis men to use the women's restroom, which then opens up the door as wide as it ever possibly could be for a cis man to abuse that fact and then go into the space and take advantage of people in there. See, that's the response that I'd give you if I thought that the question, oh, Dean, are you okay with trans women using private women's only spaces, was on topic. But it's not on topic because we're not talking about trans women. We're not talking about trans men. We're talking about Donald Trump unconsensually doing something to these women without their permission and thereby meeting all necessary components of what sexual exploitation is. So once again, you said that he never said anything about looking at naked bodies. Yes, he clearly did. He said that he'd go in there. He said that he'd see these women with no clothes on. He'd look at them and they look great. That is Donald Trump acknowledging that he'd unconsensually look at naked women because he's in a space he shouldn't be because he's a fucking man, and then you'd take away how great they looked. And he told that to Howard Stern on his radio show publicly when asked about the sexual things that he do with the beauty pageant contestants. If you can't see why this is sexual exploitation, then you can't see shit.
I just don't agree with your definition of exploitation and how you're trying to attach it to the situation at all. And also, you're telling me that if I believe in everything that Trump has said or done, that that the GOP is directly associated with all of his actions. But Biden is the one that did exactly what you were saying shouldn't be done, which is trying to have women and men in the same bathroom. So you can't tell me you're not directly affiliated. You can't tell me you're not directly affiliated, and I'm not allowed to have some disbeliefs from Trump and agree with some things. You can't have it both ways. Either we can be moderate on some subjects and topics, or we have to be all the way. And nobody is all the way. It's not black or white. That's not how this world is.
Okay, first point. You said that we disagree on what the definition of sexual exploitation is. You are lying. We all heard you accept the definition of sexual exploitation to be, and I quote, unjustly taking advantage of somebody sexually. You are lying. Second point, you brought up Biden, then you brought up trans women again. The first thing I'll say in response to that is that's a fucking pivot. The second thing I'll say in response to that is actually, no, Biden never said that trans women should be able to use a women's restroom. That is absolutely a popular, progressive, left-leaning belief, but it was never something said by Biden. And then third of all, even if Biden did say that, there'd be no fucking issue with that, and that's something that I'd happily litigate with you after we talk about why it's exploitive for a cis man to barge into a woman's restroom. If we could just agree that it is exploitive for a cis man to barge into a woman's restroom, then I will happily have the conversation with you insofar as why it's not exploitive for a trans woman to enter into a woman's restroom. But even if it were exploitive for a trans woman to enter into private women's only spaces, that doesn't mean that it's not exploitive for Donald Trump to barge into a private women's only space. If anything, in building your argument that it's exploitive for a trans woman to do so because they're biologically male, you are implicitly conceding that it was exploitive when Donald Trump did so because he's definitely biologically male. All right, sounds fucking phenomenal. Okay, now we got that pivot out of the way. We're going to go back to the topic. If you accept that the definition of sexual exploitation is to unjustly take advantage of somebody sexually, then you have to acknowledge here that he did do sexual exploitation because A, he unjustly took advantage of them because they were under the false assumption that they had a privilege and possession of privacy away from men inside of this space designed for women and women only. B, he then abused their position of vulnerability because they felt vulnerable enough inside of that space where they had the right to privacy away from men to get naked in accordance with C, abusing his position as the owner of the pageant to take advantage of that power, to barge in there and facing no consequence because no one's there to give him consequence because he's the owner, to then D, do something sexual to them by oogling their naked bodies, then turning around and telling Howard Stern about how great they looked, unconsensually. That's why what he described he did absolutely amounts to sexual exploitation. And that's why you have no real counter-argument here because you can't deny those facts. All you can do is whine about trans people when you lose the debate.
So again, if you could use the debate without saying the word barge, because it totally changes the whole meaning of this conversation. If someone's barging in, it's completely different than walking through. You're going to have to stop using the word barge because that's completely inaccurate. So if you can say this argument again without using the word barge and without using the word oogling, because he never said those words, then we can have the conversation. But he didn't barge and he wasn't oogling. He said he was walking through and they were beautiful women, and that's a wonderful compliment to women to say they were beautiful. If he had talked about their body in particular, maybe that would have been different. But he didn't.
Can we agree that to barge into a place means to go in there without permission?
Yes.
Then he did barge in because he went in there without permission of the women.
Had permission to be in that space.
Not from the women.
If you can show me the contract
Who did he have permission
that says
from?
that there would, if there are managers that are males, they would have also been in that space. What he said is nobody is allowed to just randomly walk through there that's a male, which is out of the privacy of the women. But those women are allowed to have other people in their circle there, makeup artists, designers, trainers, and they would be men, and they are allowed to be in that safe.
No, we know that's not true.
Safe space.
We know
then
that that's not true.
Let me see that part of the contract. Let me see that part of the contract.
We don't even need to pull up a contract. We just need to pull up the part of the clip.
Whether what their
and
sexual
everyone's getting
identity
dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere stage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere.
In the clip, he said that no men are anywhere.
just aren't randomly walking through, but there were in fact trainers and makeup people that were there that were men. That's
so you're saying that Trump is lying?
Camera people.
Are you saying that Trump is lying? Because we just heard him say that no men are anywhere. Is he lying?
No men that have no authorization are allowed to go walking through there.
No.
There are people that worked in
come on.
So there was
in that clip, he just said that no men were anywhere.
So there was no man anywhere to be seen? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what he's telling us.
I'll show
you.
No.
Let me clarify here. Let me clarify here. That is not what I'm telling you. That's what Trump is telling us.
But what I'm telling you is it's not barging because there were other men around. Just random men aren't allowed to walk through there.
So then you think that Trump is lying?
He owns the building. He owns the company.
She's not okay.
He's allowed to walk through to check how the show is going to go, just like the production can come check how the show's going to go. The makeup people can, the costume fitters, all those people would have been there also. You're acting like he was the only man there because he said men aren't allowed to. Yeah, rando men can't go walking through.
Listen, I'm going to play you a 4-second snippet from this clip. I want you to repeat what Trump says, okay?
Backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And
repeat this next part. It is comprised of 4 words.
No men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go.
Can you repeat that?
You already told me that's not true, though, that there were other men there.
You're delusional. You're the one trying to convince me.
You just said that.
True.
No, you just said I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. He's saying that. That's what you just said.
Yes, because that is symbolically representative of the point.
Other men around. He's saying random men can't.
Listen. When I say I'm not saying that, Trump is saying that. That is supposed to symbolically represent the point that this isn't a skewed far left biased argument that's being made. This is literally just a reiteration of what Trump said.
On a Howard Stern show, should we go back through every other politician's random words on interviews and see if they were the only man around, or if they really inhaled that, or if they really had sexual... I mean, come on.
Wait, also, earlier, didn't you tell me that I couldn't use the word barge because he never used the word barged?
I'm saying in the clip you just...
Wait. Oh, that's a really good point. Earlier, you told me I couldn't use the word barged because he never used the word barged. So then you can't claim that there was other men back there because he never said there was other men back there. In fact, he said that there was no other men back there. So
You
let me get
told
this
me
straight.
that there
You
was,
get to
and
play
I know
fucking
that
fairy
there
tale.
was.
No. So you're telling me that you get to play fairy tale make believe and just add any context whatsoever that you could possibly dream of, even if it contradicts what Donald Trump says, like when he suggests that there's no men anywhere. But then as soon as I want to reasonably conclude that he quote unquote barged in, because to barge in means to go in without permission, and we know he didn't have the permission of the women because he said he got the permission from himself, and the women said they never gave permission to him. All of a sudden, I'm being the crazy lunatic that is misinterpreting what he admitted to. Come on, bro. Be fucking fair. Be honest and start using your brain. Like, come on. You can't just baselessly posit. There's all like, oh, Jesus Christ. Go
When
ahead.
people use arguments and say things like use your brain, it's because they feel defeated or emasculated and they want to say
Dear
things
God.
to try to make the other person look unintelligent.
So true. Yeah, I'm just so
No,
truly
it
just
is, and it's
getting
what
destroyed.
leftists
So true, yeah.
do. And it's what leftists do, and
Clearly.
I'm
That's what
okay
you were
with
doing
it.
earlier too.
I'm okay with it. I'm
Oh,
okay
yeah.
with
Remember when
it.
you were like calling me like a little kid?
Well, sir, you are.
Oh, bro, your daughter just cooked your ass. Holy.
Well,
Holy.
To me, you are, sir. You're my son's age.
Wait. So,
My son's 19. It doesn't matter.
18.
No, he's 19.
No, he's not.
You don't even know your brother's birthday.
October
Yeah. What year? What year?
2006.
No, exactly.
7.
Exactly. Yeah, 2006, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know whenever I gave birth. Anyways, you are a child to me because you're my son's age. You don't have the responsibilities that I do as a mother of 3, and that's okay. We live
Hey.
different experiences. I love talking
also
to you
something I
because
just want to repeat
love
here
it.
is if any of the motherfuckers watching this live stream have left any crude DMs or hateful messages on the account that this person is on, go delete them now because this is the daughter's account. All right, I just wanted to quickly call that out. Don't go leave any crude or mean DMs to this person's account. This is the daughter, okay? And if you have, go delete them now. I'm being like dead fucking ass. Go delete them now. Like for instance.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see.
To be honest, if it was just you and I, we'd probably have a lot more to agree on than we would disagree. But that look right there, trying to, I mean, this is how you make money. I get it. You're a kid making money, trying to come up. You don't have a real job. I get it. And so this is nice to be able to study.
Lila, go delete your hate comment or get banned. Mia, go delete your hate comment or get banned. Naomi, go delete your hate comment or get banned. Lindsay, go delete your hate comment or get banned.
And to be honest,
Kyla,
you're very
your hate comment
intelligent.
get
I mean,
banned.
you're doing a great job. You have a lot of young
Let's see
people like
here.
my daughter that would have otherwise believed other things to have an open mind, and I appreciate that because that's what makes the world go around.
Perpetuous
So
Street
honestly,
Taco, same thing to you. Delete your hate comment or get banned. But everyone else is being pretty kind. Okay, anyways. All right. Yeah, you said that I'm doing this to make money. What?
no, I want to say that I'm not in full support of Trump, but I am in full support of the GOP based on some really fundamental family beliefs because I'm trying to raise children and there are certain things that are really important to me right now. But they weren't always. I voted for Obama and I've been a Democrat up until now. So I get it. I think you're doing a really good thing. I think you're doing a Charlie Kirk thing, but on the other side. And I think it's important.
Well, I'm not doing a Charlie Kirk thing because the Charlie Kirk thing would be to spout some misinformation and then call people crazy for disagreeing. I'm actually going to take a moment to thank a couple donors. I would appreciate if you just give me 1 second to do so. Feisty, I appreciate you so much for the $20 over on Chat Super. Let's get 200 Feisty W's down below. Thank you so much, Feisty. And then Line in the Game. Thank you so much for the Leon the Lily. Thank you so much. Let's get 200 Feisty W's for the $20 who says this woman exploits people, i.e. patients. Yeah, that was a crazy comment that she made earlier. I'm not going to lie. Like when she was like saying, oh, like if she was like talking about like the size of like one of her male patients' penises. That was honestly like nuts. I don't know. I don't think that medical providers should be able to do that. Cammy, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. I appreciate you, Cammy. Let's get 200 Cammy W's down below in that chat who says, quote unquote, I don't believe in transgenderism, immediately followed by, quote unquote, I believe in human rights is diabolical. Super fucking diabolical. Apparently transgender individuals are people, according to her. Sabrina, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal, letting me know that the YouTube was down. We got it back up now. Gregory, Sharice, and Elijah, thank you guys for the $5. Kelly, thank you so much for the $10 as well, who claims that this woman is posing as a healthcare worker. She claimed that she is a quote-unquote associate of arts and nursing, which doesn't exist. That would be an associate of science. She probably misspoke. I think that she was being truthful about that. DD, thank you for the $15 donation on PayPal. I want to see 150 DDWs. That is DEEDEE. DD says, as a female future physician and current medical student, because of Trump's big ugly bill, not only that the only people that would be able to afford to get into medical school are those that are incredibly wealthy already. We already have doctor shortage in rural hospitals that are closing because of Trump. We do. Actually, the big beautiful bill put 300 rural hospitals at threat of complete closure. Fun fact. Cody, thank you for the $5, and then Aurelia, thank you for the 60 cents. I appreciate you guys. Y'all are awesome. Show some love to all of our donors down below. We have a couple people to thank over on Venmo as well, so do just give me one moment to do that. We haven't thanked anybody for the hour that we've been live because we've been so hyper fixated on this debate. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for the $20 donation. Who says their name is spelled Michaela. Show some love to Michelle down below. Then with the $20 says, thank you for doing what you do, and you made a positive impact on this crazy mom's daughter, and that goes to show how great you are. I appreciate you so much for the love, Michelle. You are awesome. Ashley, thank you for the $5 as well. Gail, thank you so much for the $20. Show some love to Gail down below in that comment section. I'll make sure to pull up that clip, Gail, because that could be a crazy dunk if true. Thank you for the $20, Gail. Sammy, thank you for the $30, who says, I turned back on the live after taking a break only for yet another cult member doing everything possible to defend a predator with their lives. I hate this timeline so much. It is the same thing every fucking day. It is ridiculous, Sammy, how people come up here and just defend the indefensible. It is nuts. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you so much for the kindness. Show some love to Sammy down below in that comment section. Same thing to Joseph. Thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, man. That is beyond kind of you. I'm so grateful for you. Let's get 500 Joseph W's. Thank you so much, Joseph. Joseph with the $50 says, dangerous. She LARPs around under the mask as somebody who almost sounds intelligent, but our combo of being ignorant and closed-minded means that she'll never change, probably. Hashtag poor Chloe. Hashtag poor Chloe, for real, for real. I appreciate you for the $50, Joseph. It's good to see you today. Mary, thank you for the $10, who says, as a woman, hearing another woman defend Trump's actions makes me sick. Oh, God, I get it. Christine, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you so much, Christine. Mary, thank you for the $5. Sonia, thank you so much for the $5. Then Jamie, thank you for the $15, who says, moderate woman here who watches your lives every day. I used to be a Trump supporter, but especially the last year has turned me away. I enjoy listening to you talk to people. Keep up the good fight. Well, that's awesome, Jamie. I'm happy that we've been able to help change your mind. You are awesome. Kylie, thank you for the $1. And then Abby, that is ABI. This is actually nuts. Thank you so very much for the $100 donation on Venmo. Show some love to Abby down below. Oh my God. I want to see 1,000 Abby W's in that comment section. That is ABI. Abby with the $100 says, evening. I've been struggling with agoraphobia for a few years, and my job is fully remote, and I felt a bit isolated lately. Listening to your lives towards the end of the day, you and the chat are like having a fun second shift, peeps, coming in. I appreciate you all. Abby, thank you so very much for the incredibly kind donation. I do not deserve that. From the bottom of my heart, I'm so very thankful for you. I want to get 1,000 Abby W's down below in that comment section. As always, thank you for the kind words. And then this came in 41 minutes ago. Kimberly, thank you for the $25. Let's get 300 Kimberly W's, who says, thank you for trying to teach Chloe's moms the reality of Trump versus Biden. I'm glad that she's doing well now, but I, for one, got laid off a year ago and still am trying to find a job. All the best to you. Well, thank you for the $25, Kimberly, and I wish you the very best of luck on trying to find a job. Just like 3 more, and then I'll pass you back that mic. Luke, thank you for the $20, Luke. Let's get 200 Luke W's. He says, I just realized that pretty sure I don't have anything in common with my conservative family anymore, and I don't have much hope that they will ever change. I've been trying for years, and I'm tired. I understand exactly if you, Luke. I feel the same way so often. Thank you for the $20, man. And I'm sorry to hear that. Rebecca, thank you so much for the $50 donation. Let's show some love to Rebecca in that chat. That is very kind of you, Rebecca. Rebecca with the $50 says, this woman is incredibly disingenuous. She was on Medicaid for the majority of her life and went to college for free, but doesn't want the same thing for anybody else. This is the core Republican mindset. It's all about me, screw everybody else. You know, I actually remember when she brought that up earlier, how she was talking about how nobody deserves shit. But, you know, apparently now she grew up on all of those social programs herself. And then Nora, thank you for the $5. Joseph, thank you so much for the $10. And then Elena, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you guys. Show some love to all the donors down below in that comment section. Thank you guys so much. Welcome back.
So, somebody is apparently leaking address and full name in there.
Oh, yeah.
The chat.
They were banned upwards of a minute ago. I wasn't going to mention it.
Okay, thank you.
I wasn't going to mention it on the live, but they were banned upwards of a minute ago. But
Okay, thank
I
you.
want to call it there. I want to look out for the safety of especially Chloe. To Chloe's mom, please consider some of the things in which we went over. I'd really appreciate it if you could, because this matters. It's more than just a debate on a phone app. It's about the future of your family. It's about the future of your daughter. I don't think that your daughter or your children as a whole deserve to be grown up in a world where a man could sexually exploit them, admit to it, and not be believed by people such as yourself. I think that's gross. I think that's disgusting. In the same way that you care about your children, I think that you should also care about the children of the parrots who had their children competing in Miss Teen USA, Miss USA. Have a brain, be kind, and it's fight for justice for all, not just justice for yourself. But I'm gonna move on. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in the box right now, folks. Only opposite side of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Only opposite side of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. All right, let's go to get that next guest connected right now. Only opposite side of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, folks. Jill.
Hi, dear. How are you today?
I'm doing great. You know how I'd be doing even better?
Yeah, I know. You're going to be a smart aleck little punk. I know.
If
I
I
know.
click this button.
Yeah, I know. I know. You can't handle me. Everybody tells me you're scared of me. Everybody says you're scared of me. That's why they follow me now. Because you can't
If I
debate
click
anymore.
this
You can't debate anymore. Why don't you just debate?
Somebody's mad. Oh, fuck. I just accidentally kicked her. I was gonna keep her up for a second. I was like play tapping the button on my mouse to remove her, but I guess I accidentally clicked too hard, and now she's gone. What can you do, man? Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Oh, good lord! Hi, welcome into Sports Shop.
Yep.
Okay, all right. How old are you?
34.
I have a couple people to thank on Super Chat, then I'll pass you that mic. Benjamin, I appreciate you for the 20 Canadian dollars on Super Chat. Let's get to it. Benjamin W's down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for supporting me in the stream. Ben with the 20 says, I don't understand why they're so far against trans women to be in women's spaces. It just makes no sense why they're in favor of Donald Trump to then go inside of a women's space. Also, Giga Chad Biden was a sentence I did not expect to hear. Yeah, it's just so hypocritical and nonsensical. It makes no goddamn sense. It's so incoherent. Thank you for the $20, Ben. Jay Blade, I appreciate you for the $20 as well. He says, I didn't get to watch the stream yesterday. I was playing Final Fantasy all day, so here it is to make up for it. Well, dude, Jay Blade, don't worry about that, Jay Blade. I appreciate you for the love. I hope that you're doing all right today, man. Beth, thank you for the $20. Who says, I'm saddened for this woman's daughter. Yeah, I hope that, inevitably that mom changes her mind because it's just so important. Thank you so much for the $20. And then one last one on Super Chat for now. Thank you so much for the $50, Dustin. Show some love to Dustin down below in that comment section. That is unreal. I appreciate you so much for that love, Dustin. Let's get 500 Dustin W's down below. Dustin with the $50 says, here's your paycheck, dude. Thank you for the paycheck from the DNC. Show some love to Dustin and the DNC down below in that comment section. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Show some love, show some love, show some love. Okay, all right. So, why do you support the worst president of your life, Mr. Trump?
Well, first and foremost, I must state that lady completely was right. And man, I understand why you would pass her up because she was getting you good.
Are you talking about
How
Jill
brave
or Chloe's mom?
and to come up here and actually speak the truth, something your chat and your fan base do not like. You spin off everything you say, you lie. A lot of your stuff is half facts. We're all calling it out, and it's just funny that you can't even face it because you don't like the truth, frankly.
Is this like a joke that I'm not on the inside of? Is this a bit? Are you trolling or something?
No, I'm 100% for real.
Okay, then are they paying you?
No, who?
Come on,
Is who paying me? Are you being paid?
Chloe's mom didn't pass you $20 to come up here and start something? Because clearly she was
For sure not.
incoherent.
I don't
clearly
know
her
who
argument was
she
incoherent.
is, but she obviously was so on point there, and you ran like a little boy.
Wait, I could just give you a really clear example of her not
and she's
being on
absolutely
point.
right, because it's so sad that our children are listening to people like you and being deceived every single day, and I completely stand with her.
Based. I'm so happy that I'm deceiving your children. Let's go. Let's get it. But anyways, I could give you like.
Well, not my children, because I will not allow my children to get access to somebody like you.
Oh,
because,
yeah. But you will.
yeah.
But would you ever let them watch like Trump's speeches?
Not right now. Maybe when they're older.
Oh, okay. So they'll never get access to the guy that just wants to teach people to respect human rights. But maybe when they're older, they will get access to the adjudicated rapist that hit on a 10-year-old girl. I think that we see the type of parent you are.
You are a horrible example for my kids.
Oh, but the adjudicated rapist that's like hit on a 10-year-old is better? Holy.
He's not a rapist, and you know that. You spin off every single thing.
I just listened to the courts, dude. Yeah, they found him guilty of sexual abuse. It's rape because he forcefully penetrated her vagina with his fingers.
Oh, so did Joe Biden forcefully penetrate Tara, was her name?
No. He did not.
No, he didn't. Oh, but her testimony and her friend's testimony and her neighbor's testimony, or their word of it, was just all bogus, right? But conveniently enough, your side, it's all true.
Yes.
You see how you pick and choose what to stand on as truth?
No, there's nothing picky or choosy about truth. There's only good reason, evidence, and flawed logic for the alternative. The reason why I don't believe the reason why I don't believe Tara Reid is because she lied and perjured herself in court, was then dropped by 2 lawyers back to back, and then dropped the case and fled to Russia and joined an alt-right misinformation campaign. There's nothing picky and choosy about it. It just so happens to be the case that reality has a left-leaning bias and anti-Trump bias. But I find it funny that you're going to sit here and tell me that you don't believe Donald Trump is a rapist, even though that's what a court adjudicated, but then you will believe that Biden is a rapist because it's what one person said and then refuted themselves by lying, contradicting themselves, then dropping the case and fleeing to Russia to join an alt-right misinformation campaign. You are the one that's picking and choosing what to believe, not based upon evidence, but merely based upon your own emotions.
You left out the part where she fled for safety concerns. Like, you leave out details just to spin and keep your agenda going.
Safer in Russia.
She felt safety concerns here, being here in the U.S. because she was the assistant of Joe Biden. Yeah, and they both so Eugene had the same thing as her.
Her name's not Eugene, her name is Eugene.
Oh, Eugene, sorry. Eugene had the same testimony, and then on top of it, if you listen to her interview, she said when she hit her head, she laughed. Like, she said she was telling Trump to try on the lingerie, like. And then you're going to sit there and be like, no, I take her testimony as truth, but this other lady, hers is not truthful. Because it spins your agenda. It keeps you sitting where you are with your lies, and it deceives little children. Like, it comes to the point of, like, all these young little kids that barely know anything are following and listening to you. That's why you have so many minors jump on here. And I think a lot of us should stand up tall and come against you and your little friends that are leading these kids astray and down deceptive paths.
Okay, well, let's see if you could change my mind here. Try to change my mind here. Why should I believe the woman who lied, perjured herself in court, then dropped the case and fled to Russia? But I shouldn't believe the woman who never lied, never perjured herself, and kept a consistent narrative for years, got Donald Trump to lie and perjure himself twice, and then was able to successfully get a unanimous jury of 9 to hold him liable for rape.
Because they both came with the same stuff. They both came with evidence. They both told friends prior or after,
Can you prove that Tara Reid got friends to testify?
She didn't have him testify. They spoke to news outlets. She never took him to civil court.
What friends spoke to news outlets?
It was a friend and a neighbor. There's several people that did.
Like, could you show me that?
If you want me to, I can look it up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Do it. Somebody in the chat just asked, why are Republicans not able to make one logical argument? Because logic is antithetical to the Republican MAGA worldview. Holy dude, it's just nuts. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yo, Ty, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. I appreciate that, Ty. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for supporting what we do. Let's get to it. Ty W's down below. Ty says, hey, Dean, I'm a big fan of you. Please keep on doing what you're doing. God bless you and your family, sir. Oh, thank you, dude. I hope that you enjoyed today's stream, Ty. I hope that you do. Show some love to Ty down below. By the way, if you're watching the stream and you want to support me or support the stream to allow us to continue to do this for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can find the Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio on TikTok, pin message over on YouTube, and right there. Dean Withers without the E. Do it. Give me the evidence. Guys, what do you think? Do you think that she's going to give the evidence? I guess in the meantime, we'll go to another Trump supporter.
Okay, so far I found Lorraine Sanchez is one. She spoke to... She told Business Insider. You can look it up. Then also her brother.
Lauren Sanchez? Is that not Jeff Bezos' wife?
Linda. I was giving you what you asked me for. Linda.
Wait. Lauren Sanchez, it's Jeff Bezos' wife. So Jeff Bezos' wife, okay, told Business Insider that Biden raped Tara Reid. Where can I see that? What's the title? The title.
No,
what?
that
the title of the article.
She told her about traumatic sexual incidences
related to
these
Biden?
These were people that spoke forth on Reid's behalf.
So what's the title of the Business Insider article?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry,
this is news to me, dude.
Sorry, I'm going back and forth between two.
It should be really easy. Just get that real quick. Should be really easy. Title. That's funny. Oh, man. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the debates, guess what? We do this every day. You should hit that follow button, top left-hand corner. Let me know how you're enjoying them so far down below in the chat. You know, I really appreciate you guys so much. I don't know what's going on, but the streams have just been like so much larger as of recently. Like nothing has really like changed with like, you know, the push on my account or like much else. But like for whatever reason, the people have been much more interested in debates as of recently. So that's cool. That's cool. Bunch of people have been tuning in. That's awesome. We are still waiting on her to get that source. Somebody in the chat said it's not a consensual debate because she's drunk. Crazy. I don't know. I don't think she's drunk. Yo, dude, you guys are still on the title of the chat. Yo, come on, back off, man. Back off. That was a very clear misspeak. Well, okay, wait. She said that she found this Business Insider article. Why is it taking her so long to find the title? It should just be like a swipe.
How do you want me to send it to you, the link?
Don't send me a link. Just memorize the maybe 10 to 15 word article title and then come back and share it with us. Do you know how like easy it is to do that? It's so easy. It's so easy. It should take 2 seconds. You should be swiping to Google where you already have the article open because you said you found this on Business Insider.
Yeah,
you should be reading the 10-word title.
Neighbor.
Former neighbor? Tara Reid was neighbors with Jeff Bezos' wife? This is this is getting crazy, dude. Oh my god.
No, it was somebody that she worked with. In the
Lauren Sanchez? Wait, so was Lauren Sanchez her neighbor, a friend, or somebody that she worked with? Or all three? How about you just give me the title of the article?
Just go to Business Insider. I don't have...
Why are you so fucking... Okay, what's the title of the Business Insider article? It should be on your screen. There shouldn't be, this desperation and inability to memorize 10 words.
A former neighbor.
Oh my gosh.
Cute.
Oh my gosh, she can't do it. She has to swipe back in after every 2 words. Low-key, I thought that she was lying. Maybe I thought that she didn't actually have an article open, but it seems like she does.
Yeah, I clicked it to open it. I was trying to get the link so you can directly go to it.
Why is this so hard? I just want the article title. I can't hear you when you leave the app, by the way. I just want the article title, dude. Oh my god. Let me show you how easy this is, by the way, guys. We're going to go ahead and do an interactive session. I'm going to go on Google. I Googled news. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to news. Let's click on an article. Okay. Here's one from the BBC titled Melania Trump denies ties to Jeffrey Epstein and urges hearing for survivors. Let's now imagine that I swiped out of that news article. I'm back on TikTok. Hey, Dean, my source is from the BBC with an article titled Melania Trump calls for Jeffrey Epstein's survivors to testify in front of Congress. Okay. I was a little bit off. You put that into Google, it's going to pull up this article.
Mommy.
Yeah.
Mommy.
She can't even do that. Like it doesn't even need to be word for word.
Former neighbor. Just put former neighbor of Joe Biden. Click that.
I thought it was the former neighbor of Tara Reid.
I misspoke. Sorry.
Okay, so it is the former neighbor of Tara Reid.
Sorry, my attention's divided for a moment.
Bro.
But yeah.
Okay, go let your attention be fully non-divided, focused on something else because you're giving me a migraine. Okay, I'm done. I'm done trying. I give up. I'm sorry. I give up. Let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. I just give up, man. I'm not gonna try anymore. All right, let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box right now. Holy dude, not even coherent enough to hold a debate. My God. Snoop the Great, do you support Trump?
Hello. No, I do not, but I had a question for you.
Super Bass, we are just looking for some Trump supporters, so I hope that you take care. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box. We got Right Wing Zoomer and Jay loading up. Looks like Jay's still connecting. Right Wing Zoomer, do you support Trump?
Yes, but I've been watching you for a little bit, and I'm impressed with what you bring to the table. I'll say that much.
Do you have any of my other accounts blocked?
No, I shouldn't.
I was just
Wait,
trying to
hold
like...
on. Maybe there was a period because there was a period where I was like, no, I hate them. So that was a long time ago. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a long time ago. This one was blocked too, and then no echo chambers. So I've been watching you for a while.
Okay. So do you consider yourself to be a Trump supporter?
Yeah. Sorry, I have anxiety. It was an accident that I clicked, and so it's caught me off guard. I'm like filled with anxiety and shaking, so I'm going to try to do my best. It's caught me off guard.
Well, if it was an accident that you clicked, I don't mind moving on unless you want to stay up.
I guess if you want to ask me a question, sorry, my mind is now completely blank, but if I
How
can
about
have a
this?
conversation.
How about this? I have a couple people that I can thank real quick. Take a moment, take a deep breath or two. All's good. I understand the nerves. Okay, when I started going live with Parker on his streams with 1,000 people on him, I'd be shaking from anxiety too. So I can imagine what it's like joining on a stream with 22,000 people. Okay, definitely, I get it. I get it. So I'm just gonna thank a couple people real quick. And then we'll get into the debate. First and foremost, Tori. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. Let's get 200 Tori W's. It is Torey. Tori with the $20 says, just want to say that even if Biden is guilty, that doesn't negate the fact that Trump is definitely guilty. The whataboutisms are insane. For what it's worth, I'd let my kids listen to you. Well, thank you for the $20, Tori. Yeah, if Biden was guilty, then we'd say put them both in jail. Not, okay, now we're actually cool with a rapist being president because both a Democratic president and a Republican president are rapists. Jones, thank you for the $10, who says the cracks in the mental barriers are finally forming for a lot of people. The last week has been so insane that even the most hardcore MAGA has had to do a double take. No, absolutely. They've had to do a double take. Jones, so many people. Alex Jones has done a double take. Isn't that crazy? Alex fucking Jones is calling for Donald Trump to be thrown out of office. That is mind-boggling. On Venmo, thank you so much, Robert, for the $15 donation, who says this lady was on yesterday with Parker and dared him to slap some zygotes. I would assume that you're talking about the last guest. That's funny. Thank you for the $15, Robert. Tori, thank you for the $10, who says nice haircut from a fellow Coloradian. Thank you, Tori. That is T-O-R-I. Show some love to Tori down below. Brianna, thank you so much for the $30 donation on PayPal, who says, Dean, I recently graduated high school. and then keep this next part private. Okay, I will definitely do that, Brianna. Well, congratulations on graduating high school, and thank you so much for the $30 donation. That is BRIANNA. Show some love to Brianna down below. Thank you so much for the support. Morgan, thank you for the $5. Sunny, thank you so much for the $10. Asia and Wes and Macy and Rebello, thank you guys for the $5. Then Maddie, thank you for the $10, who says, what's with all the ignorant women tonight? Keep on educating them, even if they won't listen. Well, the streams have definitely been shooting out to more people, i.e. we have a higher viewer count, and we've had a lot more like MAGA women in the queue, which is, invited, because I feel like we'll go months only debating men, so I actually like seeing more MAGA women in the queue. It gives more representation of like different worldviews, all in conjunction to ultimately supporting Trump as president. Lindsay, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. I appreciate you, Lindsay. Lindsay says that Chloe's mom lied about the gas prices. She's in my neck of the woods. I live 40 minutes away. Yeah, she was a fucking liar. Thank you for the $25, Lindsay. And then Ashley, thank you so much for the $50. Oh my God. Thank you, Ashley. Let's get 500 Ashley W's down below in the comment section. Holy moly, that is so fucking kind of you. My God, $50 goes a long way where I live, Ashley. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for the love. Ashley with the 50 says, thank you as usual for defending victims and calling out those who justify Trump's exploitation of women and girls. I will never fucking stop, okay? Because it's common sense, Ashley. And then we got a big one here from Miss Carissa. Thank you for the $100 donation. I want to see 1,000 Carissa W's down below. Carissa, you've been dropping by here on a daily basis. Not a bone in my body deserves that. I'm so thankful for your kindness and generosity. I genuinely don't fucking deserve that much money. That is a shit ton of money, Carissa. Carissa with a 100 says, thank you for your patience with these people. I could not do it. You do so much for the good of the country. You give me so much hope for the future. I try to do my best. Thank you for the kind words. Above the $100 donation, Carissa, thank you for the kind words. That is fucking nuts. Show some love to the GOAT, Carissa, down below. As well as Joy with the $10, noting the fact that 8 rural hospitals have shut down due to Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill in MS. Yes, it is bad. And then Elisha, I appreciate you for the $5, and same thing to you, Lindsay. I think that there's maybe still yet a handful of people to thank over on PayPal, but let's go and hop back into the debates for now. I'll do that here in a moment. I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. You guys are incredibly, incredibly kind. Right-wing Zoomer, I did send you an invite to turn your microphone back on.
I think I did. Can you hear me? Okay.
So why do you support Trump?
I mean, okay. So, one, I just feel, well, I want to be very careful with my wording, sorry. Because I do want to debate you, but this completely caught me off guard. Because I was literally washing dishes, and then, so I did not realize that went through. I do want to debate you, but I don't think right now is the right time because it was completely off guard. I was just watching you, kind of listening.
No worries. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. When you think it's the right time to debate, feel free to hop inside of that queue. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in here for a moment. You know what? Hello, Liam. Speak, don't speak. Mute yourself, unmute yourself, or leave the live.
Are you playing games again?
God, boy. Oh my God, you listen to me. Good boy, Liam. Oh,
that's how you end up having a conversation. Wait a minute. People have to talk to each other to have a conversation.
I'm not calling you a good boy. You are such a good boy, Liam. Such a good boy. Well, is a good boy driving? I think I hear some road noise.
Are you what?
I think I hear some road noise. Are you behind the wheel, Liam?
No, I'm not behind the wheel, little guy.
Well, I just brought you up here to call you a good boy. Now get the fuck out. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box right now. We got Chris Barr connecting into the live. If you don't know who Liam is, you probably think I'm an asshole. But trust me, it's warranted. There's lore. There's lore, okay? I swear there's lore. For everybody who doesn't know the lore, there's lore. All right? It's there. You just don't know it. Okay. You just don't know it. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now because it looks like Chris Barr is not joining. Here we go. Only hop inside of the queue if you're an American adult that's at least 18 years old that supports Donald J. Trump as president. I would really appreciate it if you guys could do your very best to follow the rules of the live stream. We got 444 Rylan loading up into the box. Hello, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay. Why is him threatening genocide of 90 million people not enough for you to stop supporting him?
No, so here's my take on it. I'm a middleman. I'm more a conservative than I am a liberal. Now, him doing that by any means is unacceptable. And the way what he's on Truth Social, isn't it, when he said, "Open the damn straight, you bastards"?
Nope, that was on Easter Sunday when he threatened war crimes against civilian infrastructure. We're talking about Monday. I think that there's a Christian name for it, whatever. We're talking about the day after Easter Sunday, where he said he was going to completely kill their civilization if they didn't do what he wants.
Yeah, that's totally unacceptable. Any person in power should not be making an absolute horrific and historical, eventable threat of that sort. So I believe that on that standpoint, he is wrong. On a lot of things, I disagree. He is a horrible person, but that man knows how to run a business and run a country. Now, the reasons I support him is his views on abortion, border security. Those are my two main things. Because where I'm from, I'm kind of close to the border, so those
do you
things
think
really.
that Trump is pro-life?
In a sense, yes. I believe that he.
Weren't we just talking about how he threatened a genocide of 90 million people?
Yes, and didn't I just say that that's unacceptable?
Come on, don't those two things conflict one another?
Did I just say that that's unacceptable?
You did say it was unacceptable. But doesn't that unacceptable belief, the one that you just conflict with the notion of being pro-life?
That's why I said he is wrong for that.
But like, you do understand that 90 million people, that's a higher number than all of the fetuses that have been aborted in the last 100 years in this country.
Yeah, but then again, so look. Okay, hold on. Okay, you go ahead. You're speaking. My fault.
I'm just saying, like, okay, I think these two things, I cannot live in communion with one another inside of a coherent belief set. It is like clearly incoherent and unreasonable to say that you acknowledge Donald Trump has threatened the genocide of 90 million people, but you support him because he's pro-life. This is like me saying that I acknowledge I fucking hate the winter time and I hate the snow. It's all fucking shitty, but I support living in Telluride, Colorado, because it's virtually winter year round.
So let me give you my stance on abortion. If you are openly, or if you're going to be openly about laying down, spreading your legs, doing, all of that, I don't know what you can say on TikTok or not, but if you are able and willing to lay down on your back, open your legs, have an intercourse, and risk of what's to come, then I believe that if you are able to do that, then you are able to raise a child. Now, if rape is a whole different thing, I believe that if you're raped or underage of any sort, then I believe that an abortion should be, okay.
Do you think that people who smoke cigarettes and get lung cancer should be able to go to a doctor and seek chemotherapy to kill that lung cancer?
I mean, in a sense, yes, but everything.
Wait, why? They were able to open their lips, insert the cigarette, and smoke and huff and puff on it. Quite frankly, I think that if you're willing to open your lips, to spread your lips and take a huff and a puff on that cigarette, acknowledging the risk of lung cancer, that if you develop lung cancer, you should never, ever be able to seek medical treatment to kill that lung cancer in your goddamnly darn life. Listen to me here, sir. Actions have consequences. Exactly, if you're able to huff and puff on that cigarette in acknowledgement of the consequences, you should not be able to get chemotherapy to kill it. I know that was like funny, comedic moment, whatever, but it does prove a point that seemingly the only time people will ever genuinely argue that you should have to deal with the quote unquote natural consequences of the action you engaged in because you chose to engage in that action is abortion and pregnancy, even though there's other actions in which yield natural consequences that you would not argue people are obligated to deal with, like lung cancer from smoking cigarettes or liver failure from alcoholism. You get my point?
Yes, I do. But then again, I believe that if you're going to willingly open your legs and have the intercourse, then things have consequences. But if you're completely able to, then I believe that there's things to come with that.
But that's the argument that I just proved wrong.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what I believe. That's where I'm from. That's what I do.
But you hold on to contradictory beliefs because you simultaneously believe that you should be obligated to deal with the natural consequences of your actions if it's sex, but you should not be obligated to deal with the natural consequences of your actions if it's smoking a cigarette. Why? Why do you hold a different standard in these two scenarios? Well, what's the relevant difference?
There is a relevant difference, dude.
What is it?
Hold on, I'm at work. I believe that if it's one's a child and one's at your own risk.
Oh, okay. So then the difference has to do with the value in which you perceive to be true of the fetus. Well, now you're just making a totally different argument altogether. Now you're no longer arguing that women shouldn't be able to get abortions because it's a consequence of sex. Now you're arguing that women shouldn't be able to get abortions because a fetus's life is morally valuable. Okay. So why should I value the life of a fetus? Tell me.
Because it's literally a human being.
Oh, okay. So because it's a member of our species.
Okay. Why engage in a sexual intercourse if you are not ready for what's to come if it happens?
Okay, yeah, for pleasure, for pair bonding, for an expression of love with your partner. Clearly, it's descriptively true that sex yields many more benefits than the supposed benefit for some people of having a child in some circumstances. And this is just self-explanatory. Like this isn't even like a debate. This is just a fact. Like, yeah, many people do have sex because it feels good. For funsies. You could click on the icon of the microphone on the user control panel once you click on your profile picture to unmute yourself. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I muted him because of the very loud background noise. Because he's at work, and I just think we're going to have to kick him, unfortunately. We got Angie loading up into the box. We got Chloe loading up into the box. We got Ryan loading up into the box. Let's see who loads it first. Oh, who's the child? Is it Chloe or Ryan? Chloe, how old are you?
Child.
You sound British though. My bad. Ryan, what's up? Do you support Trump? Ryan? All right, buddy. Well, you got that MAGA mobile?
Yep.
Okay. Are you oh, there you go. How old are you? Okay.
30.
Oh, your buddy's on that MAGA mobile. Sir, you got to set that Patriot phone down. Do you have like another device, better internet connection? Connect to Wi-Fi? Apparently not. See you later. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box on the opposite side of the queue. If you are MAGA, please and thank you. This guy's bio says everybody thinks I'm a loser. Definitely MAGA 100%. Holy. Hello, texting my crush. Oh, no, he's gone. All right, let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Hey, speak, don't speak, mute, unmute, leave. Good boy, Liam. Thank you. Good boy, Liam. Thank you so much. Good boy. Let's go to get the next guest, Prettiest Ghost, loaded up into the box right now. On the opposite side of the queue, if you happen to be MAGA, please. Thank you. Hello, welcome to Sport Trump. Prettiest Goat, hello? They're not here. All right, guys, we got a bunch of people inside of the queue who are just simply not here. So let me quickly go over the rules again so everybody knows what to expect if you want to join the stream. First and foremost, I ask that you be at least 18 years old. Okay, that's not just TikTok TOS, but it's just the responsible thing to do. We're asking for only adults to join. The second thing that I'm going to ask you guys here is to ensure that if you do join, that you are a Trump supporter from America. Now, those are the only two rules. If you follow them, you'll be well off. You'll be fine. You're going to come up here. We'll have a very productive debate. That's what we're looking for. So if that's you, please hop inside of the queue or let me know in the chat. And for everybody else inside of the queue that's not a Trump supporter, not under the age of 18, not an American, I'll just politely ask you to leave right now. Welcome to Sport Trump.
Okay. Wait a minute. You said we have to be a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I'm definitely not. I just wanted to.
Base. Shout out to you. That's awesome. Love to hear it. You're just simply too cool to be on the live. Hello, the DNC Decimator. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Your bio says Dean and Parker are cringe, a documentary. What do you think is cringe about refuting the lies, quite frankly?
What do I think that's cringe about what?
Refuting the lies, quite frankly.
Perhaps I'm not hearing you correctly. Give me 1 second. Let me,
Oh, okay. Then I'll repeat myself to make it crystal clear. What is cringe about refuting the lies, quite frankly?
What lies? I mean, I like to talk about why I support him, if that's okay.
Oh, you're a troll. You have a video on your account literally titled Rage Baiting Santana for 7 minutes straight. Hi, Matt. Do you support Trump?
Yo, Dean, I'll slap the shit out you, bro.
All right, sounds good, little bro. Pipe down. Emotions are high, I know it, but... Oh, there he goes. Drops the slur to run. That's MAGA, guys. They're very unintelligent people with a vocabulary of about 5 words that include many vulgarities and slurs. That's just who they are as a group. Very, very hateful. Let's go to get that next guest, Lauren, loaded up into the box right now. Hello, Lauren. Do you support Trump? Lauren, you have 5 seconds. 1, 2. Okay. Well, goodbye. We're still trying to find the next Trump supporter. I'm doing everything and anything in my ability to find him, folks. I think that they just may be non-existent anymore. They're just nowhere to be seen. Hello, John. Do you support Trump?
I love you, Jane. Hey.
Okay. What the hell are they doing? Guys, we're trying our hardest to find anybody. Like I said, we really are. On Super Chat, JJ, thank you so much for the $20 while we're trying to find the next guest. Let's get 200 JJWs. I appreciate you, JJ. I appreciate you, JJ. JJ with the $20 says, thank you so much for trying to educate everyone during a time with so much disinformation. Because of your content, I switched parties and came back around to the Democratic Party. Everybody show up in November. Yes, please. Guys, show up in November and vote. It is more important than ever before. The midterms matters so fucking much. Thank you for the $20, JJ. Also, pay attention to the local elections in your area. There could be a couple that are very important to show up for. I'd also like to quickly thank Brennan. Thank you for the $15 on PayPal. You says, home recovering from surgery and can't go anywhere for the next month. Glad to have your streams to keep me busy. Oh, well, I'm happy that we could give you something to keep you busy. I'm sorry to hear that you can't leave the house for a month. That literally is terrible. Thank you so much for the love and support. You are beyond kind. Beyond kind. Monavon, thank you so much for the $16 donation on PayPal. Who says, Dean, you handled the debates with parents with such grace. Yeah, I definitely handle them a little bit differently than other debates just because they matter a little bit more, if that makes any sense. Thank you so much for the $16 donation, Manavon. And then Gabby, thank you so much for the $125 donation on PayPal. Gabby, it is so good to see you. Gabby comes in here like once a week, makes it rain, says something incredibly kind, and then dips. Gabby, it is so good to see you today. Thank you once again for the kindness, the love, and the generosity. I want to see so much love to Gabby, G-A-B-Y, in that chat. Gabby with $125 says, hey, Dean, just donating so you can keep, quote unquote, deceiving the kids. Please keep it up and keep fighting the good fight and educating those who need it the most for a better future. Please, please, please also keep your mental health in check. Peace and love as always from the UK. Well, love to you. Love to the UK as always. I appreciate you for such kind words. And I do keep my mental health in check. I make sure of it. That's very important to me. Thank you for the $125 donation. That is honestly insane. I don't deserve that. The MAGA Minion, do you support Trump?
No, I prefer Hitler.
Okay. What is it like living in your mother's basement?
It's actually quite well, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I doubt it. Doesn't sound like it. Let's go to get that next guest, Jaden, loading up into the box. All right, here we go. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
2006.
What month?
Actually, I'm 20. I just turned 20. 04, 2006. I'm in college, so.
Yeah, I believe you. Why do you support Trump?
I mean, if you think about it, you know he's raising all the prices around the world, right? I mean, the U.S.
Yes.
Like that shit's affecting us. But if you think of it from like a corporate perspective, he's building the economy. Like the overall economy of the United States.
Okay, well, the typical macroeconomic data points that we would use to track how the overall economy is performing definitely don't seem to align with your hypothesis. Like GDP growth is down, jobs reports are in the shitter, bankruptcies are up, layoffs are skyrocketing, inflation is skyrocketing. Doesn't really seem like the economy is being built in any positive direction, my friend.
Yeah, I'm fucked. I don't really support Trump. Yeah, you kick me. You got it.
Okay. Bye, Jaden. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Fish Girl is on like 3 trillion of her accounts inside of the queue right now. Dude, I know when it's you, okay? I know when it's you, Fish Girl. I just know. You have it's a way that you like to do things. You're not going to be able to fool me. Pop out that Q. Pop out that Q. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box. Dude, honestly, it kind of looks like the Trump supporters are a little bit disillusioned. Not too many inside of the queue. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
April 12th, 2007.
If Biden called for the execution of Republicans in Congress for no fucking reason whatsoever, do you think that any reasonable Democrat should have stopped supporting Biden?
Yeah, would Biden be on the receiving end then?
Well, it seems like you'd be on the receiving end of a bunch
No, I
of
wouldn't,
hate
Dean,
from
'cause you're-
a bunch of American people. But anyway, here's the next argument. So now that you've pointed out that any reasonable American would stop supporting Biden if he called for the execution of Republicans in Congress, let me ask you about Trump. Would you consider yourself a reasonable American? Because if so, you should stop supporting Trump, because that's exactly what he did 13 weeks ago on Truth Social. He called for the execution of 6 sitting Democrats by labeling them as seditious traitors for calling for members of our military to uphold their oath. And then he went on to say that their sedition was punishable by death, and then he finished that off with a repost of somebody saying to hang them. So let's go to get the coherent intellectual counter-argument. If I had a guess, I don't think we would be getting that coherent intellectual counter-argument. You're probably going to make some joke about when I said receiving end in my debate with Nick Fuentes, because you're an unintelligent loser who knows that you can't challenge me intellectually speaking. So you're just going to bow out with some shitty joke that we're all going to laugh
Okay,
at.
what makes you think I'm a loser, though?
Well, you're a Trump supporter, that's for one.
Yeah, okay, but what else? What else besides that?
Well, I'd say that's
Jackass.
definitely a sufficient criteria to determine a loser.
Okay, but besides that?
Well, that's all I really know about you so far, is that you're a Trump supporter with a bad sense of humor.
Because you're on the receiving end, fag boy.
Well, there he goes. They're so predictable, guys. I literally told every single person, including him, exactly what he was gonna do. They're so predictable, dude. Try something new, for instance. Okay, because clearly, your predictability of being a shithead has gotten you in a position that you hate. Nobody in your life wants to spend time with you, be around you. You probably smell bad. Switch it up. Try to be a better man. Start seeking truth and being good for your community and the world around you, compared to being a corny homophobe on the internet. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, John?
Yes, I do.
That would be a troll. It's going to move on to that next case, Cheryl. Someone in the comment section just said Democrats are always steeping so low. I got to invite them. Sabrina in the chat says Democrats are always steeping so low. I sent you an invitation. I would love for you to accept the invitation and join the live, Sabrina. We just gotta have a talk. We just gotta have a chat. We just gotta we gotta communicate, okay? You gotta don't run, Sabrina. Don't run. Unfortunately, it looks like she is. That's unfortunate. JJ, do you support Trump? JJ?
No, but I did.
I'm really happy to hear that you don't anymore. Guys, it has been upwards of 40 minutes without a debate. So I'm going to go to put the rules on screen. You got to be 18 plus, American and MAGA. We have so many people in this live stream right now. Why do we not have at least one Trump supporter? I mean, hey, maybe this means we win. All right. The people finally have been disillusioned to the extent of not being able to find a single Trump supporter in a crowd of many. If there's any Trump supporters left that genuinely want to come up here and debate and not just spam slurs, because that's what the last two have done, hop inside of that queue, let me know, come up here and have a convo. But dead ass, the only two Trump supporters that we've been able to find in the last 40 minutes have just come up to, have joined the live and dropped slurs. It's you guys are fucking embarrassing. And by the way, it just does so much irreparable harm to the MAGA movement, because what does that tell to the average apolitical viewer of this live stream that's still trying to figure things out? Are they going to believe the reasonable, common sense driven progressive that hates Trump, or the unreasonable, corny asshole who just wants to come up and drop slurs? It really pushes a lot of people away from MAGA, and that's good. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Sure.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
October 29th.
All right, why do you support the worst president of your life, Mr. Trump?
You know, I just came in here to say I hate seeing you on my For You page.
I know.
I can't take it anymore.
I know. You're like the Wicked Witch of the West in response to water, but instead of water, it's just facts and truth nukes.
No, I just can't stand your face.
Well, I know, because my face symbolizes the words in which leave my mouth. It's just, you see my face and you go, oh no, the exposition of the truth and the downfall of Trump because he sucks. I know, my face is almost like this symbol ingrained in your brain cells. And every time you see it, you freak out because, I make those like you scream in fear of the facts. Very true.
Okay, well, I got my point across.
And this is when you laugh and you don't have a debate about Trump, because every single word that just left my mouth is right. If you leave and you run without a debate, you're just validating that I'm telling the truth and that I'm accurate in everything I say.
Then sure. But I got my point across.
Well, actually, no. You got my point across because you won't debate me. You won't let me challenge your intellectual capacities. And here's a lifeline. Let's see if he answers the question. Why do you support Trump?
I mean, I never, flat out said yes, but I said sure. Just to whatever, get through with the live stream.
Oh, so this is when you claim that you're not actually a Trump supporter? Is that?
I mean, I wouldn't say I really have a political view. I just turned 18, so.
Well, I would definitely argue that you have a political view if you hate seeing my face. Because on rare occasion, I'll do something annoying or cringe that would lead people to maybe dislike me or find me a little bit off-putting. But, to really hate me, it has to be because of what I say. Do you support Trump, Dub?
Yeah.
How old are you?
20.
What year were you born in?
2007.
And why do you support Trump?
I think he's just funny.
Wait, 2007?
Wait, was my math wrong?
You're an idiot. Dip out. Moving on to the next guess. Wait, I just called a kid an idiot. Yo, my bad, bro. My bad, I don't mean it. I take it back. You're a kid. I shouldn't be calling 14-year-olds idiots. My bad. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, what year were you born in?
2007.
Wait, did you say 18 or 19?
19.
All right, what month were you born in?
March.
All right. Okay.
I support Trump because he's he's making our country better. He's closing our borders. Obama did the same thing when he was president, didn't he? He had ICE running.
You seem like a pretty clear troll.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yep.
Embarrassing, bro. Holy. Okay. All right.
I got a question, actually.
Well, before you ask me a question, I'm going to thank a couple people, so give me a moment. Thank you for the $10, Barbie. Let's get 100 Barbie W's down below in the comment section who says for the Dean/Parker ticket when the time comes. I appreciate you for that love, Barbie. I don't know if I'll ever run for public office. I don't know. It could be something that happens. I don't know. But thank you for the love. Over on PayPal, thank you so much, Jewel. That is Jewel. Show some love to Jewel down below for the $20 donation. Who says, thank you so much for what you do. I wanted to ask if you knew about the Calendar Girl after party where Trump had contestants walk from an Epstein. Yeah, I did hear about that. Oh, dude, it's crazy, Jewel. Thank you for the $20. Same thing to you, Owen. Thank you so much for the $25 donation. Show some love to Owen and Jewel, who says, sending you $25 to tell you that I like the way the new likes look when I spam them on your forehead. Oh, on TikTok? Yeah, I guess I do look a little bit differently. Thank you so much for that love, Owen. Show some love to Owen. And then Eli, thank you so much for the $10 as well. He says, the nearest hospital to me is 45 minutes away. That was 45 minutes away. Got shut down because of the big, beautiful bill. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, Eli. Yeah, there's been a bunch of rural hospitals across the nation that I've shut down because of that. And I'm so sorry that you've personally been impacted. I just hope that you don't have a medical emergency in your life because they'd have to medevac you because that's the only option. Kennedy, thank you so much for the $33 donation on PayPal. I appreciate that, Kennedy. Let's get 330 Kennedy W's. Thank you so much for the support for what we do here, Kennedy. Kennedy says, going to Denver tomorrow, any places / hikes you'd recommend? Check out Boulder if you have the time. It's like 40 minutes away from downtown Denver. It's very nice and beautiful out there. I loved it when I lived there for 2 years. Peyton, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I did not see that, Peyton. That's hilarious. Amber, thank you for the $5. Jenna, thank you for the $10. I appreciate that, Jenna. Then Shelby, thank you for the $10 as well, who says, your streams always make my day. Thank you for educating the right. We need more people like you, Dean. Oh, thank you, Shelby. It's good to see you again, and I'm really happy and hoping that you enjoyed today's stream. And then we got a big one here from KC. KC, thank you for the $50 donation on Venmo. Let's fucking go. I want to see 500 KCWs. That is beyond kind of you. Thank you so much for the support. Casey with the 50 says, it's an honor to listen to your debates. I'm so glad that you are someone my kids will look up to one day. Keep on cooking, Dean. Well, I bet that you're a great parent. Thank you so much for the $50. And I hope, as I told the last person, that you enjoyed today's stream. So much love. So much love do I have in my heart for you and all the incredibly kind viewers of the stream. Thank you so much, Casey. And then one last one here from Annalise. Thank you so much for the $15 donation, who says, I love seeing that you've absolutely backed up all the claims you make with evidence. It's hard to find what's true when I've been brainwashed by Mormonism and whatnot. Much love, bro. Jesus, I wish you the best of luck. I'm so sorry that you had experience of brainwashing into Mormonism growing up. I mean, yeah, that's rough, man. Thank you for the $15. We're going to go and hop back into the debates. This guy said that he had a question for me. What is your question?
So, we don't agree on a lot of things. I understand that. But, like, President Trump can't run for another term. So, like, I listen to your debates. I like your intelligence. I like your passion. But, like, at the end of the day, Dean, like, what is your final outcome of all of this? Because regardless if you get everybody that ever voted for Donald Trump to hate him, he can't run again. So, like, what is the outcome of this? Because he can't win again. He can't run again. So are you fighting a no-winning battle, or like, are you trying to just give people truth about Democrats and Republicans? Or
three things.
Yeah.
The first thing is, even in a vacuum, if people being right about Trump, meaning they don't like him as president, did nothing, I still think it's better for people to be right compared for people to be wrong.
Okay.
But the streams are materially doing something, which leads to point number 2. Holding him accountable in the midterms. Getting people to vote for the Democrats, the only people who've been running on agendas of legitimately trying to check what he does. Maybe if we get a Democratic majority in both chambers of Congress, we'd be able to impeach him, to throw him out. Get his lapdog, J.D. Vance, to be president, who would then just answer to Congress because he's a fucking follower to whatever keeps him in power. And then, of course, reason number 3 is to prevent this from ever happening again. All right? If we could all identify the warning signs of authoritarianism, of human rights abuse, of nonsensical anti-American and anti-humanism, all right, then maybe, just maybe, if somebody like Trump runs in the future, we'll ensure that they don't get that position to run for that office with funding from corporate donors, PACs, and support from half of the country from the get-go.
So that's your outcome on all of this. That's where you're driving this to.
So why do you support the guy that threatened to genocide 90 million people?
Oh, well, I agreed a lot of stuff that he did in the beginning, but some things, you can't agree on everything the president does. You didn't agree on everything your last president did you?
Yeah, but like the things that I disagreed with Biden on were qualities that Donald Trump represented to a higher degree, and like didn't include like rape, hitting on 10-year-old girls, threatening to genocide 90 million people, so on and so forth.
Dean, somebody that has those kind of charges from having a police background, I'm not a police officer no more, but anybody with that kind of charges, they go to jail. They're not president.
I understand why you would think this as a police officer, because as a police officer, you actually arrest people like that and take them to jail. So it's going to be a selection bias of only seeing the people that inevitably face consequences through the system because you are the start of the consequence. But according to RAIN.org, only 2% of rapists ever face full legal consequence for what they've done. So you only saw the 2%. You didn't see the 98%.
So wait, you telling me only 2% of people who rape get the full charge? The 98%?
Full legal consequences in the eyes of the law. Yes. Yes, that is what I'm telling you.
Wow, I have to look into that. That's horrible.
If you want to look into it, it's rain.org, and that's rain with 2 N's. So that is RAINN.
I've learned something from you today, Dean. Normally I disagree with a lot of stuff you say, but I do like your passion. And maybe one day you might be president. Who knows?
You've been watching for years, man. You've really calmed down. I remember having debates with you like literally over 2 years ago, and you were always quite a pill. So, I mean, I could definitely tell that, you've made some progression in your life as well.
Yeah, I'm getting older, and I see wrong on both sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not this mega guy who thinks that we always do everything right. You know what I'm saying? But
so what is there left to support?
Dean, you're trying to put me in a corner.
Well, if you think me asking for the reasons why you support the president is putting you in a corner, then I think that you shouldn't support that president.
No, I think that there are some things I do like. I mean, I know we're not going to agree on the illegals and stuff like that, but like I'm a big guy against abortions and stuff like that, and I understand where you come from. I've heard you 1,000 times, so you don't have to go into it and railroad me. But it's just my stand on it, and I'm not like gonna move. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man. Like I said, you've been watching the live for many years.
I've been watching for years. I mean, I got a lot of followers just like you, man, and I've been doing this for a long time.
If you already know everything I could say and haven't changed your mind, unfortunately, man, I'm gonna move on just because. If you've been listening to conversations for years, I don't think that one conversation today is going to change much. You take care. Man, damn. That's unfortunate. How do we appeal to those people? How do we do it? I don't know. I think about that all the time. How do we change those people's minds? Hi, do you support Trump?
No, I do not. I'm Irish.
Super based, but we are only looking for Trump supporters, so only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. All right, this guy's name is Jay Wags. I think I know exactly who this is going to be. Expect some bombardment of quote-unquote breaking the duopoly, Joe Biden being a rapist, or Russia being based. Hello?
Yeah, why do you support a genocidal rapist, pedophile?
Dude, holy, how did I call it that easily? You're so like unoriginal. It's just the same thing every time.
No, you're unoriginal.
You just change your profile picture to get up here, but I just must be a psychic. I always know.
Yeah, because you kicked me out last time. You wouldn't accept me with my old profile picture, and I knew this would do the trick. So easy read on you.
Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kick you.
All right, sheep herder. Sheep grifter.
Oh yeah, why do you think I'm a grifter?
Because you're collecting money for the Democratic Party.
For the Democratic Party or from the Democratic Party?
Or is it for yourself? I don't know. I've seen that TikTok with you with like a bunch of money. And also I've seen some weird drama with you, like some Takesha chick. Like what the hell?
So
liberal infighting. Pretty interesting stuff.
So
and
you think that I'm a grifter because
you.
I accept donations? But those two things don't compute. Accepting donations doesn't make you a grifter. A grifter would be like falsely representing yourself to accept donations predicated on
you are falsely representing yourself.
How so?
You're acting like you care about the left or at all. You're a liberal and you're just as bad as MAGA.
But how do you know that I'm not just genuinely a liberal compared to falsely representing myself as a liberal?
You are a liberal, Dean.
Okay, then I'm not falsely representing myself, so I'm not grifting.
You're acting like you are grifting. You're grifting as you're posing as like a leftist or a left-leaning person, especially because you represent the Democrats who act like they are left-leaning when they are not.
So I'm actually further to the left than the Democratic Party.
You're really not.
Yes, I am.
If you support the Democrats, you support Joe Biden, Kamala, all the big names.
Well, to correct you on your view, I vote for the Democrats, because they seem to always be better than the Republicans. But ultimately,
They seem to be.
I think that
Are they though? When they're
think that the
voting
Democratic
for
Party,
Iron Domes?
Oh, come on. That was me being facetious. I know that they're better than the Democrats. I was just, making a little play on words. But I do want to advocate for a DNC that is much more progressive than it already is. I like uplifting voices from people like Rep. Rokana, who think that we should ban all lobbyists, dark money from PACs, kick APAC to the curb, weed out, those in which are pro-Israel, so on and so forth, and uplift more progressive voices like those of Zoran Mamdani. I think that Zoran Mamdani should legit be the blueprint for the future of the Democratic Party. He's the 08 Obama of today, and I really think that a lot of Democrats have a lot to learn from him, and if we could get a bunch of young, outspoken voices a lot like him, that we'd be a lot better off. Can we agree on that?
I mean, to be I hope he wouldn't be like Obama. Obama was a lot of talk. Obama.
I'm just talking about Zoran Mamdani. Can we agree that we want more Democrats like Zoran Mamdani?
Yes.
Okay, look at that. We agree on something. Isn't that crazy? Now, would you vote for Democrats if they were more like Zoran Mamdani?
I don't know. We need a whole. We need to get so many Democrats.
How about this? Hypothetically, if Zoran Mamdani was able to run for president, and he did against J.D. Vance in 2028, would you vote for him?
It would depend on what he thinks about Israel and if he supports the military-industrial complex.
Okay, well, we know what he thinks about Israel. He does not like Israel. Okay, would you vote for him over J.D. Vance? Is that a fair solution? You would. Oh my God, this is crazy. We might actually be building a bridge here for the first time ever. My goal is to get there to be more Zoran Mamdanis of the world, is to ensure, maybe not in 2028. That might be a little bit too soon. I don't know if we're going to get it.
I get what you're I see what you're doing.
In 2032, 2036, I want Democrats to be like Zoran Mamdani. Hopefully by that time, another 10 years in the future, I have more sway and input of the Democratic Party as a whole, because I'm willing to build that bridge and form that alliance to push for more progressive values and change within the party, and ensure that there are more candidates like that, not only because of my own voice, but also because of the voice of the people. What's bad about that?
I think that the Democratic Party is just, they're not going to change. Why not do what you're doing, but try and get people to vote outside of that party?
You know what? How about this? I also think that a really big issue that we have is people like you. Not necessarily because you acknowledge that the Democratic Party is not perfect, but more so because you advocate for people to not vote for the Democrats we have because of the beliefs in which they have, even though they're better than the Republicans. And you're not also simultaneously advocating for more progressive voices to win primaries. If you're just here to shit on the libs and do nothing to make the libs better, or to reform the DNC as we know it by endorsing more progressive politicians, then you're not doing anything. You're just as bad as MAGA.
No, not really. Because as long as you boost up people who are running in the Green Party and you look into who's actually running in the Green Party in your state, and you're not
I forgot. I take back all my kind words to you. You're a Russian prop, and for that, I will never forgive you. Someone just sent that in the chat. Yeah, you're pro-fucking Russia. You're pro-Putin. You're pro-imperialism as long as it's Russia. It's so gross. See, that's another big contradiction. You shit on the military-industrial complex and imperialism when it's America, but then when it's any anti-American Eastern country like Russia, then all of a sudden it's a good thing. And that's another very bad look for the left. We cannot be propping up countries merely because they're anti-America and anti-West. We need to have some standards here. We should not be propping up Putin. All right, we should not be pro-Russian imperialism.
When did I ever say it was pro-Russia, pro-Putin?
Yesterday.
You are crazy. You're
you said all this yesterday.
Never mind. I take back all those nice things I said because
you said this yesterday.
You said all this Putin bad. What?
You said all this yesterday.
Okay, and I'll say it again.
Exactly.
And I will keep saying it. And you will keep
So why is Russian
sheep herding
imperialism
people
okay?
into the do-nothing Democratic Party while I tell people that they should vote for a third option.
Why is Russian imperialism okay?
What imperialism? How are they extending? Oh, because they attack Ukraine when America's imperialism attacks everyone around the world.
Yeah, what we
How
say here
Kamala
is that
Harris
both Russian
literally
and
said she would
American
genocide
imperialism
Iran
is
too.
bad.
Kamala said she would genocide Iran.
Okay, so you're pivoting. I disagree with that statement, but you're pivoting. Because
All
the question that I
options on
asked
the
you that you're not
table
answering
to
here is
stop
why is Russian
them from
imperialism
going
okay?
nuclear. All
And then you made it about
options
Kamala
equals
Harris.
genocide.
Okay, so
Does it
Kamala
not?
Harris has nothing to do with why you are okay with Russian imperialism.
Oh,
So
and
why
that
do you think Russian
18-year-old
imperialism is
Ukrainian
okay?
chick that you were with, did she support the Azov battalion?
Once again, that
Did
statement
she?
or question, I don't know. I don't even know what that battalion is. The statement or
Oh,
question
I
has
don't even know what
nothing
that
to
battalion
do
is. How
with an
convenient, but
answer
you
to
know
my
everything
question.
else with your big fucking brain.
Can you please answer the question though? Why do you support Russian imperialism?
I don't know
Why do
the
you think it's
Azov.
okay?
Look it up, chat. Look up the Azov battalion.
answer the
That's who
question?
represents Ukraine, Ukrainian Nazis, who
Can you
he
answer the
supports
question?
because
Can you answer the-
Russia
can you answer
bad.
the
He
question?
supports Ukrainian Nazis because Russia bad.
Can you answer the question? Why is Russian imperialism okay?
They're not trying to take over. They're not having bases all around the world. That's why. They don't have military bases surrounding all places all around the world trying to start fights and pick fights and steal resources and do all this. The U.S., the empire that you represent, that you love so much, that the Democrats love so much. I can't wait. Honestly,
So let me make this clear. American imperialism does not justify Russian
It's so bad.
imperialism.
It's causing world war.
I was in the middle of my sentence. Let me make this clear. American imperialism does not justify
world war.
I was in the middle of my sentence. You understand that I was in the middle of my sentence. Please don't interrupt me. Let me make this clear. American imperialism
is causing world war.
So you're intentionally interrupting me from stopping me from communicating this statement. Please let me speak. American imperialism does not justify Russian imperialism because all imperialism is bad. So why do you
Russia's not
Russian
doing imperialism.
They
Where
are.
else are they targeting besides Ukraine?
Ukraine is one of the places where they're doing imperialism, and we'll focus on that for now. Even if
That's
their
because
only
it's a
target
money
is
laundering
Ukraine.
scheme for the American government, and they're using the Ukrainians as proxies. What don't you understand about that? They're using them.
Okay, so it's okay for one country to be imperialistic.
It's not okay for America
as long as you
to
think
do
that other
regime
country is a
change,
proxy of another
period.
imperialistic country.
Where is Russia doing regime change?
Oh, well, yeah, they're trying to do regime change in Ukraine.
Well, guess what? America did it already, and they put in their Putin puppet president Zelensky.
So once again, you keep on going back to...
Why do you support Ukrainian Nazis?
You keep on going back to accusations of American imperialism. I just want to make it clear here that American imperialism has nothing to do with the justification for Russian imperialism. This is like saying that it's okay for Trump to rape E. Jean Carroll because Bill Clinton might have raped another person. No.
Biden and Tara Reid,
no.
yeah.
Like one circumstance of rape doesn't justify another circumstance.
Like Biden and Tara Reid.
So why does one circumstance of imperialism justify another circumstance of imperialism? Why does one circumstance of imperialism justify another circumstance of imperialism?
How many military bases of Russia, Russian military bases, are there all around the world?
That question is completely irrelevant to an answer to my question. Because we're not positing that Russia's imperialistic because of global military bases. We're positing that Russia's imperialistic because of their ethnic cleansing of Ukraine.
Because the Ukrainian Nazis are trying to invade parts of Russia and take over land in Russia because because Uncle Sam wants them to.
What parts?
And you support it.
What parts? What parts?
Why do you support genociders?
What parts? Why can't you answer my question?
Why did the Democrats say that they would obliterate Iran?
Answer my question. What parts of Russia did Ukraine try to invade prior to Russia's invasion?
So Ukraine's doing nothing wrong. And,
why are you answering my question? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just asking. What parts of Russia did quote unquote Ukrainian Nazis invade prior to Russia's invasion in 2022? What parts?
I don't know. Just like you don't know about the Azov battalion.
So then how do you know that? Well, you're the one that brought up the battalion, not me. So then how do you know that they were invading Russia prior to the invasion of Ukraine if you don't know what parts of Russia that they were invading? How do you even know that that claim is true?
Learn about the Azov battalion and who they they represent.
How do you know that that claim was true? How do you know that it's true that Ukrainian Nazis were invading Russia prior to Russia's invasion? Do you understand how you're just as bad as a mask-off American imperialist? Because you are actively justifying imperialism via the proposition.
You justify genocide. You justify rape.
In which don't cut me off. Don't cut me off because I got you looking stupid. Okay.
No, you look stupid.
Says a person.
You don't know the Azov.
Couldn't answer the question.
Azov battalion.
An explanation of your view. Okay, this is where she crashes out, and then this is where the conversation ends because she can't continue without interrupting me every 2 seconds. But my closing statement is, you were just as bad as the mask off. See, it's her tactic, is to stop me from talking when I got her. You're just as bad. She's doing it. Then you wouldn't be doing this to me. You weren't interrupting me every syllable 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, when I didn't really get you, okay, right? I was still like forming the argument. You weren't interrupting me every 5 words. You actually let me speak. But now that I got you, you're starting to interrupt me every 5 fucking syllables.
I'm speaking.
Listen to it. Listen to it. She just actually got a flag for misinformation, so we got to kick her. But anyways, what I was going to say there is she's just as bad as the mask-off American imperialists that want to go to war in Iran and take it over and regime change and control the region to set up a proxy state. Okay? She's just as bad. She is just as bad. Why? Because that is literally what she is justifying, but for Russia. If you were going to be anti-imperialist, then you have to be anti-imperialist in all scenarios. And I would argue here, with strong conviction, that she is more evil than the average Trump supporter. I say that because the average Trump supporter doesn't even know what imperialism is. They support it, but they don't know what it is. And sure, if you support imperialism without knowing what it is, you are a bad person. Because we should be able to use common sense to dictate that it's wrong to take over other countries, start baseless wars in the Middle East, so on and so forth. But when you support imperialism and you know what it is, and you could correctly identify it via a reflection of American imperialism, but then you defend it as it relates to Russia, you are worse. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. We're just looking for some Trump supporters to come up here and have a debate. If you're watching the stream and you want to support me, you want to support the stream, you could actually find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in the bio on TikTok. Pin message over on YT as well as right there. Dean Withers without the I appreciate you guys so much for all the love.
They did it for control, for power.
Attach
it wasn't done because they care about the fact that these are humans. It was done because they knew they were gaining something from
hey,
it.
Gabriella, you're on the live.
What makes me think nobody did it out of the love of their heart?
Hey, Gabriella.
That could have been. That's what I'm saying is I'm not pro-imperialism for that reason.
Okay, it doesn't sound like Gabriella's a Trump supporter who meant to join. We're going to get that next guest loaded up in the box. But anyways, as I was saying, if you want to get a message across or ask a question, feel free to do so on Venmo, PayPal. I mean, it's a great way to get a message across or ask a question. I'll even do my best to read it out loud. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Not anymore.
Base, man. Hell yeah. It's awesome to hear. We are just looking for Trump supporters.
I don't know if you remember me or not. We did debate a while ago, but I just don't fuck with what he's doing now. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Love it. I love it. I thank you so much for turning around and seeing the light. Love to hear it, dude. Love to hear it. Yo, Lord T, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat, who says Putin wants Russia to get back to be in the USSR. Fuck this caller and fuck anybody else who supports the expansion. Deadass. Thank you so much for the love. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Are you driving?
Yeah.
Then I got to kick you unless you could pull over.
All right, give me. Oh, I guess I'll just request later.
Okay. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box right now. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the live, guys. Please follow the rules of the live stream. We are just looking for Trump supporters. We got Step loading up into the box. I'd also like to quickly thank Sun. Thank you so much for the $20 donation over on Super Chat. I appreciate that, Sun. Let's get to it. Our Sun W's down below. Thank you so much for the $20, man. That's very kind of you. Sun with the 20 says, which bridge does this troll live under? She is committed to intentionally misunderstanding everything that you say. What do they say? God, don't like ugly. Dude, I know. There's like so many people that like her that'll come up here and do that like game where they just pretend to not understand what I'm saying or what I'm asking. And then we got 2 people to quickly thank you. Thank you so much, Barbie and Jack. Thank you both for the $50 super chats. I want to see 500 Barbie W's. I want to see 500 Jack W's. The 2 of you guys, thank you so very much for the love and support. Jack with the 50 says, I think that we should bring up the fact that Trump's quote-unquote civilization a statement on truth more. It's not the first time that he's used genocidal language, and we should try to remember Trump and Bibi saying that they'll bulldoze Gaza and that they'd ethnically cleanse Palestinians. You know what? I actually agree. We should talk about that more. They straight up did vow to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip to build a Riviera. As well as Barbie, thank you for the $50. Who says, I wasn't gonna do this, but Jesus, give me the Beat Boy and free my soul. I love getting lost in your show, so grift away. Well, thank you so much for supporting the show, and above all, supporting the grift, because I'm a dirty grifter. Thank you for the $50, Barbie. Welcome. And do you support Trump, Step?
I'll be honest. I can't support it anymore, but I want to ask you.
I love to hear it.
Hello?
Hi, do you support Trump?
No, but my brother does, and he wants to debate.
Yeah, want to put him on?
Yeah, he's here.
You ain't have to say something for me now, but
So sorry.
But I did want to ask you before I answer the question. Like, what do you mean by that? Do you still support Trump? Like, what?
Do you support him as president?
What kind of support are you alluding to?
Do you support him as president?
As in, like, if there was an election right now and I had to vote for someone else, would I vote for someone else? Is that what you're saying? Or like,
that's a pretty good way to think of it. If the election was held tomorrow between Trump and Harris, who'd you vote for?
oh, definitely still Trump. I
Yeah,
mean,
you do support Trump as president.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Dean, you have to understand he is our president for the next 3 years. So, like, yeah, I'm going to support my president.
Did you support Biden?
Yeah, I actually voted for him.
Okay. What about Obama?
I voted for him as well.
Okay. What about Bush?
I wasn't old enough.
Okay. If you were old enough, would you have supported Bush?
Depends where I was at in life and what I believed in.
Okay. So then you don't just support the president because they're president.
Huh? No, if he became the president, then yeah, I would support him. What do you mean?
Okay. All right. So first and foremost, I mean, this ideology is just fundamentally anti-American. The reason why I say that is because we're not supposed to be a monarchy where the president just kind of has the power and control to do whatever they want whenever they want. And the social support for or against the president and the things in which they're doing is kind of like the hidden check and balance of a well-functioning democracy, where we're able to prevent the president from doing bad things when we don't support them by not supporting that president, and therefore advocating for congressmen and women in the midterms who are willing to impeach them if needed, shoot down their policy if needed, or, you know, hold them accountable if needed. So, I mean, like, definitely never just support the president because they're president. Feel free to support the office of the presidency. In fact, I do too, and that's exactly why I don't support Donald Trump, because I think that he's putting such a great stain and tarnish on said office.
Yeah, I can agree that, you know, I think it's bigger than the president. I don't think the president is the end-all be-all of. I actually believe in our system of a government that we have. I don't believe in lobbying being such a strong part of it, but at the same time, yeah, I think I believe in the system, which comes with those checks and balances and the different branches and how they interact with each other.
Then you really shouldn't support Trump if you believe in the system, because he hates the system, man. He's always trying to position himself above the Constitution. He intentionally and belligerently infringed on the 14th Amendment of the Constitution with an executive order on day one. He tried to take a birthright citizenship, a constitutional right, away from natural U.S.-born citizens, all because their parents are undocumented documented, even though they've had that constitutional protection since the ratification of the 14th in 1868. So how can you sit here and tell me that you believe in the system and you support the Constitution, meanwhile you simultaneously support the president who's trying to end those things by positioning himself above them?
Well, two things. When we say, you know, the whole drain the swamp, which is what you're referring to, right? At the first part.
I don't think I made a mention to drain the swamp.
I didn't say you said it, but you're saying he opposes a lot of the different things in the administration, and that's what he was trying to get rid of, right?
Wait, do you think that the Constitution is a swamp? Because I'm saying that he's trying to position himself above the Constitution.
To answer my question, I'm just asking you.
Well, then that's not what I'm referring to, because I don't think that the Constitution is a swamp.
No, but when he says drain the swamp, he's talking about members in the administration that are not helping the administration or the country.
I have no fucking clue what he means by drain the swamp, because I think he is the swamp.
He was saying that before he became president. So you think the swamp is also rich people that are, like, I don't understand that. How could he be part of this?
Well, yeah, I think that the swamp would definitely include a rich billionaire who's infringed on the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 10th, 14th, 22nd Amendment, on top of the 2 first articles of the Constitution, who's ignored court orders to feed out food stamps for 16 million American children, has given full and complete presidential pardons, 274 people that try to kill cops on the steps of our Capitol to overthrow our government, has been paid for pardons for the owners of multi-billionaire dollar like crypto companies, given full and complete presidential pardons to people sentenced to 32 years in jail for fraud, on top of the abuse of law and order, ignoring federal law, defying Congress, breaking the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and tried to install himself for a second term after he lost the 2020 election. Like, that is by far, a great example of what this metaphorical swamp would represent. And everything in which I just shared with you are things that Donald Trump has actually done.
There's definitely some things there that I believe should have been checked a little bit better by the different branches that maybe haven't been. But at the end of the day, we as people are kind of a big part of that whole, like, every single branch and how things happen. They're not, all of it completely but I think I was trying to remember the second part, because I think you did have a good point there as well, and I wanted to elaborate on it. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I guess those are all great points, man. I mean, I think as far as when it comes to I think what I was going back to the immigration point and, people who have birthright citizenship.
In consideration of those points, how could you support Trump?
Because I'm getting there. Hold on. So since the beginning of our government, the whole idea has been loosely and strictly interpreting that Constitution. So do I think that will always be a thing? Yes. And do I think that that's happening? Very much so in the last, I would say past, even with Biden's administration, where the question of how do we interpret these amendments and how do we interpret them and how they affect the people? I mean, that's something that's, very hard to judge, I think, Dean. I mean, we could both read the same amendment and look at it differently. And
I
how
disagree.
it should be.
I disagree. That's why specifically I'm referencing you Donald Trump's infringement on the 14th Amendment, because I don't think it's vague. I don't think it's elusive. I don't think it's gray. I think it's very cut and dry. I think that we have great SCOTUS case law and history to represent what the 14th Amendment is supposed to represent and who it's supposed to protect. And Donald Trump is acting antithetical to those values. I mean, it literally says that if you're born here and subject to the jurisdiction of our country, then you have a right to citizenship. Donald Trump's executive order said, if you're born here and you're subject to the jurisdiction of the country, then you don't have a right to citizenship.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying the loose, but you do believe in the loose, strict interpretation, right? I mean, I'd understand that any American should understand that that's the case.
What I'm trying to communicate to you here is that no gray area, cut and dry.
No, I get what you're saying. I know. You're saying with that case, there was no gray area.
Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I think that in that context, I disagree, because you also have to look at when these amendments are made and how they're made, and I think that's part of the interpretation.
Okay, so how do you interpret the 14th Amendment's birthright citizenship clause?
That 14th Amendment was made during a time when we were leaving slavery and getting rid of a stage in our country where there was questions about the birth of people who were not considered citizens before and are now considered citizens, or aren't considered citizens, but their kids should be. That's when that came up. So it's like, that has to be interpreted. That has to be looked at.
Okay. All right. So, wow. So I don't even know where to start. Who's the ultimate interpreter of the Constitution? Do you know?
We. Yeah, well, actually, I mean, it would technically be the judicial branch.
The Supreme Court.
Yeah, the Supreme Court, but the judicial branch.
So in 1898, the Supreme Court ruled that the only people who do not have a legitimate claim to birthright citizenship would be indigenous Americans, which was later fixed through federal law, members of militant invading forces from other countries here for war, or foreign embassy officials who have immunity from our laws while in the country. Now, what this means is that undocumented immigrants are subject to the jurisdiction thereof, therefore their citizens would have a rightful claim to birthright citizenship, and that's been clear since 1868. But it's been even more clear in reference to the Plyer v. Doe SCOTUS ruling from 1989, where SCOTUS expressly ruled that undocumented immigrants have protections under the 14th Amendment and are subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Therefore, they definitely do have protections under the 14th Amendment. Now, you went back to the historical context surrounding the ratification of the 14th in Congress in 1868, and sure, that did have a lot to do with the children that were born to black people in this country because of the terrible Dred Scott decision. But they also explicitly agreed that this would be an extension to immigrants on the floor of the debate of Congress in 1865 until its ratification.
All right. Well, as you can see, since the decision was made for that 14th Amendment, things have changed based on the context of the times. You just said that in 1940 they did it.
Yeah, times have changed, but the Constitution hasn't, and that's what matters.
Well, I mean, it's been I guess it not changed, but the world has changed around it, and that's kind of.
But not the Constitution, dude.
Well, it's been changed. I mean, there's been added amendments.
Not in reference to birthright citizenship, there hasn't.
No, I know, but I'm saying it has changed.
What? When? When did the birthright citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment change? Tell me, please.
Well, not that one. But,
Okay. So then your claim is false. When you tell me that it's gray and elusive, maybe the children born to undocumented immigrants don't have a rightful claim to birthright citizenship per the 14th Amendment, you're wrong.
I mean, I guess I'm wrong, but maybe the whole country and the way that it's
okay. Well, if you're wrong about that, then you'd have to accept that Donald Trump intentionally, belligerently infringed on the Constitution with EO number 14160.
Damn. All right. Well, let's say I do think he was wrong there.
Okay, so then why are you supporting a president that's threatening to genocide 90 million people, calling for the execution of Democrats, calling them terrorists, while simultaneously, intentionally, and belligerently infringing on the Constitution? That's an anti-American mess. The identity of this country is hanging in the balance, and you're choosing to follow a guy that wants to destroy it.
Dean, you gotta see why people look at you and say, what the fuck? Because how can you extend that all the way to, I believe in a genocide? How can you extend it?
Nothing I said was false. I said that you support a man that threatened to genocide 90 million people. That claim is true. You do. You do support Trump. Donald Trump did threaten to genocide 90 million people. Therefore, it is true that you support a man that threatened to genocide 90 million people.
How did Trump make the decision to genocide 90 million people? Dude?
Well, you're equivocating what I'm saying. I'm saying he threatened to genocide, not that he did genocide.
When did he threaten? When? And how was it? Like?
Yeah, 2 days ago. He went on Truth Social. He said a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will.
You're talking about Iran now?
Yes.
Okay, I thought we were talking about immigrants. You just jump from one thing to a whole completely other thing to cause some type of like ruckus for no reason, bro.
Well, you conceded on the last point, so I'm just simply asking you, now that you've agreed that he's intentionally and belligerently infringed on the Constitution, how could you support a man that has not only intentionally and belligerently infringed on the Constitution, but has also threatened to genocide 90 million people, called for the execution of Democrats in Congress, labeled all Democrats as terrorists, celebrates the deaths of Democrats when they die? Like, these things are just so antithetical to core American values, it's insane.
I told you why I would support the first part, but that doesn't automatically mean that I support everything else that's said or I agree with it.
Oh, is it true or false that you support a man as president who has threatened to genocide 90 million people?
He has not threatened to genocide 90 million people. He said he tweeted something.
Yes, that tweet was a threat of genocide against 90 million people.
No, it wasn't, bro. He's talking about eradicating a government that is clearly already trying to fucking kill their own people.
He didn't say a government. He said a whole civilization.
Okay, all right, bro. So we're all a civilization. Like, come on, like everything you say has to be taken literally.
How about this? Let me ask you a question here. Let me ask you a question here. If a whole national civilization died,
when your mom woke up and said, when you were late for school, and your mom said, if you don't get out of there, I'm gonna kill you. Do you think she really meant you're gonna fucking get killed, Dean?
No, I don't think that my mom was actually gonna kill me.
Okay, so sometimes people say things that they don't mean. Right?
Okay, so are you arguing that Donald Trump unintentionally threatened to genocide 80 million people? Because that's also a fucking problem.
I don't think it's unintentional.
Okay, so then you accept that it was intentionally meant it.
Yeah, I think your mom intentionally said it too, but she's not going to do it.
Well, she was using that as an idiom. Like, quote unquote, killing somebody could be used as an idiom in some senses. So what is the idiom in which Trump was using when he said a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again? I don't want that to happen, but it probably will.
He's saying he's going to destroy the fucking IRGC, which I agree he should.
Wait, but is the IRGC the whole civilization? No.
Oh, yeah. I think
so that's not what he said.
Everybody knows that, though, bro.
That's not what he said. He didn't say that he was going to destroy the IRGC because the IRGC is not equivalent to the whole Iranian civilization.
Right, so let me ask you this. When the IRGC says, oh, death to all Americans, do you think they mean you and me, Dean? Or do you think they mean the fucking Trump and the presidency and the government?
If anybody were to ever say death to all Americans, that would include you and me. But that's not what they said, by the way.
Oh, so they don't say that?
Yeah, they say death to America. Those are technically different.
That's different to you, bro?
They are, because America could be representative of like of a country body with a government. Meanwhile, all Americans would definitely be representative of the people inside of that country living under the government. Listen, I'm not defending the IRGC. The IRGC sucks, but like those two things are distinct. But that's different from saying that everybody inside of a civilization is going to die. Like, let me ask you, if everybody inside of the Iranian civilization died, would that have been genocide?
Obviously.
Okay, so then Donald Trump did threaten genocide because he did threaten to kill everybody within the civilization.
And so when they say death to America, if everyone in America died...
Listen, I'm not an IRGC defender. I don't understand what the point is. I'll correct you on the small, minute details here.
Semantics.
There's nothing semantics about it. You just conceded that if Donald Trump did kill the whole Iranian civilization, then he would have genocided them. Therefore, we can agree that he did threaten genocide because he threatened to kill the whole civilization.
Yeah, bro. Yes, I understand that. When you take people's words literally and it happens, then it literally happens.
How else am I supposed to interpret that?
The same way you interpret death to America when they say it.
Oh, dude, listen. So he didn't just say Iran will die tonight. He said the Iranian civilization will die tonight. Like, we have to be clear here. The Iranian civil the subject. So the quote-unquote cream on top of a shot of espresso is called what?
The cream on top of an espresso?
Yeah, the bubbles.
I don't know what it's called.
The bubbly level. Okay, well, it's called the crema. So, B.
You don't speak Italian.
Crema. So, how do you taste a espresso shot? What is
You're
the best
supposed to take it as a shot.
Well, actually, what you're supposed to do
you follow it
is have a little spoon to move the crema because the crema is really acidic and changes the taste of the espresso shot. So you could pull out the more specific flavor profile of the beans. Yeah. Oh, then here's another question. So how is the crema, go fact check me. Where does the crema come from? Why is there a little bubbly layer of like quote unquote white froth on top of an espresso shot at all? Do you know why?
No, inform me.
Because of the CO2 trapped in the beans during the roasting process.
Here's the thing, Dean, okay? You paid a barista to teach you all
here's
this,
the thing.
okay?
I actually happen to know a fucking lot about espresso shots because it is my biggest hyperfixation outside of politics. And the same way I could drill you about every fucking Trump policy he's ever passed and how terrible it is, I could also drill you about the specifics of how to get a very high quality and very indulgent shot of espresso, my friend.
You have a $75,000 espresso machine in your kitchen. You had a barista try to explain it to you.
Holy shit!
You had a private barista come to your home and explain. They gave you a fucking manual with all this information. And again, blindfolded, you couldn't tell the difference between
do you know how
prices
work? Like you said, $75,000 for an espresso machine?
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. Think about how much Dean's making per stream roughly. He's got about 16 to 25,000 views here on TikTok. Who knows how many on
you said they were
YouTube.
DNC bots.
Yes, the majority of them are DNC bots. That is true.
Jay Blade,
right?
thank you for the
But
$20
they're
on
supporters.
Super Chat saying DNC bought money for the espresso machine. Quite frankly, we're going to get the $75,000 espresso machine. The espresso machine is going to be larger than my house. It's going to be its own house off to the side. It might be a little bit on the road in the grass, but who cares? Because it's going to make a great cup of espresso paid for by all the DNC bots. All of them. I'm gonna have a crane. I'm gonna have a crane move this espresso machine into my house. I'm gonna have a
He's
crew
making
of
about
5 men working.
$3,000 every live stream, right? Between all of his donations, right?
You know what?
$4,000.
No. I need to correct you. Not $3,000 to $4,000. $3 to $4 billion. You think that we fuck with that small shit?
Mm-hmm.
I blink my eyes, and the DNC sends me $4,000. Every time I say Trump's name, they increase my pay by 4%.
So here's the deal,
Also,
folks.
let's not
He's
forget
got
that Parker's a trillionaire. So, like, we know all the people that are connected.
He's got a $110,000 espresso machine in his kitchen right now, and you guys are telling me, right, that Dean is on your side. I'm sorry, guys, but this is a tax write-off for him. He doesn't really care about the movement of the left. He doesn't care anything about the liberals. He doesn't care anything about the Democrats.
I have a
right?
question.
He's
We
doing
started
this
at-
to buy expensive fucking equipment for his house because he's afraid to step outside of his own home. So he spends thousands upon thousands of dollars on things that he doesn't need.
So we
starting
went
with
from
that damn
$5,000
espresso machine.
to $12,000 to $50,000 to $75,000, and now we're at $110,000. What the fuck is going on?
How many espresso machines do you need, Dean?
Dude, apparently many.
Dean, listen, here's the deal. At the end of the day, right?
It's night. Yeah,
you don't
end of the day, it's
actually
night.
advocate.
Let's go to move on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box, dude. I can't tell if that guy was trolling. He had to have been, right?
He started to lean into it. He had to, but you could tell that he was a little bit hurt. He was a little hurt that you didn't recognize who he was. So, that's why he went down that diatribe.
Dude, what a loser, man. Hey, Heather. Health Inspector, I appreciate you so much for the $20 donation over on Super Chat, who says, this guy's simping for Starbucks for literally no reason. Starbucks would quit certified baristas, literally watch a video, get handed recipe cards, and then do whatever they want anyways. That's why your drink order is never the same. Well, I appreciate you so much for the $20 towards the $110,000 espresso machine. Thank you. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in the box. To be fair to the last guy's point, espresso machines kind of can cost a lot of money. Even mine was an investment. It was like $500, and admittedly, that's a shit ton of money. But now I've owned it for close to 2 years, and if I were not using my $500 espresso machine, I would be getting a $5 cup of coffee every day. So I would still yet anyways be spending more money. And the $500 one, that's not even like a good espresso machine. The good espresso machines cost like $3,000 to $5,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good ROI though.
Yeah. So I mean, I got an ROI on my $500 machine, which is nice. Welcome in, Bobby. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do, actually.
How old are you?
I am 32.
Okay. Bunch of people in the chat saying good espresso machines cost like $10,000. Well, I mean,
really?
Well, so like for commercial espresso machines, they could straight up cost like $50,000. Like that guy was actually spot on. $50,000 to $75,000 is like a fair price for like a commercial high grade espresso machine.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Can I say thank you really quick? Just two quick people, if you don't mind. Rebel, thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate the hell out of you, and I understand. But Tori, holy shit. Massive W's in the chat for Tori for the $100 DNC grift. Holy fuck. One day, I too strive to buy a, what do you say, $115,000 espresso machine? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Tori.
Dude, shout out to Tori. That's incredible. That is incredible. I have a couple people to thank here myself, so do give me one moment. In the meantime, guys, make sure that you're double tapping away in that phone screen, sharing out this live with a handful of friends. Thank you all for being here. Make sure to hop inside of that queue, given that you're MAGA, because today we are looking for Trump supporters to debate. And by the way, for everybody watching on YouTube, if you're curious why the live stream keeps on ending and restarting, it's because of YouTube servers. They're shitty today for whatever reason. Ish, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on Venmo. He says, for that Dean NC coffee fund, you roasted him like that good bean. Appreciate you so much for that love, Ish. That is ISH. Show some love to Ish. Same thing to Ali. Thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Caitlin with the $5. Jamie, thank you so much for the $5. Then Jennifer, thank you for the $5. And Rami, thank you so much for the $50 donation to spend however the hell you want to. Thank you so much, Rami, for the $50. That is beyond kind of you, my friend. Let's get 500 Rami W's. This is good to see you, and I hope that you're enjoying today's stream. I know that you're always hanging out with us. Same thing to Gianna. Thank you so much for the $10. Who says this dork lives in Peru and rides for Starbucks? Yikes! I know, bro. How could you live in fucking Peru out of all places and go to Starbucks for your coffee?
Right.
Insane. Joseph, thank you so much for the $10 as well. I appreciate you. Chelsea, thank you for the $20 to tell Brian to go away. We banned him. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Tess, thank you for the $20 as well. Let's get 200 Tess W's. And then Adam, thank you for the $25 on Venmo because I'm a fake DNC bot. Thank you so much for the fake DNC money. Cindy, thank you for the 5. Stevani, thank you so much for the 5. Anna, thank you for the 5. And then Gabe, thank you for the $15 who says, go piss off that last guest by buying yourself another nice coffee on me. Man, Gabe, I appreciate you. Show some love to Gabe down below. On Super Chat, I'd also like to quickly thank $10 who says, why are we still talking about espresso? Well, we definitely stuck on the subject matter for too long, but I happen to love talking about espresso, but I'll try to keep that out of politics, okay? We got 2. Oh my goodness. Tori and Lisa. Thank you so much, you guys. Lisa with a $50 on PayPal says, these are the same folks who exploit children in pageants and call it normal, and they will never admit how these children are being exploited while screaming family values, hypocrisy. Keep on doing what you're doing, Dean. Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for the $50, and you really hit the head on the nail there. Let's get 500 Lisa W's. And Miss Tori, thank you for the $100 donation on PayPal.
Tori.
Thank you, Tori. Oh my God, you guys are going crazy. From the bottom of my heart, I don't deserve that much love. Thank you so much for the support. That is fucking crazy, Tori. Tori says, I worked on and off at a coffee shop for 7 years. You should try a Restretta shot, which removes the crema. Ask Brian, which has more caffeine, dark or light roast. Yeah, the Restretta shot, I'm a fan sometimes because it makes a latte more creamy, because instead of it being 36 grams of espresso, which is a lot of water, it's only around 18. So I'm also a big fan of Restretta shots. Thank you for the $100. Lindsay, thank you so much for the $10 as well on PayPal. I appreciate you. And with that, we are actually caught up and ready to start the next debate. Bobby, I appreciate you for being patient. If you want to take it away and tell us why you support the worst president of your life, you've got our attention.
All right. I just want to start off by saying, I have an open mind to everything. So I support him as a president. I neither lean Republican or Democratic, but I did vote for him. I just felt like his views align more with my views.
Like which ones?
So to start off with, he promised that we were going to see higher tax returns this year.
That's a lot.
And in fact, I saw the highest tax return that I have ever seen.
Wait, are you a part of the top 5%?
No.
Okay. Well, statistically speaking, I mean, I'm not going to tell you with your anecdotal information that's true, but a new report just came out that only the top 5% of income earners in the U.S. are getting any type of return. Most people, a higher number than in years past, are paying back. So, yeah, that's not good.
Okay. I haven't seen that myself, but I'm open to that information. I saw it for myself that I got more.
Okay.
So, but, then again, I do disagree with some of the things that he does.
How about this? Is there anything that Trump could do that make you stop supporting him as president?
Yeah, I mean, there's something anybody could do that would make me stop supporting him.
Okay, what's something that he could do to make you stop supporting him?
It's situational.
Okay. What if it's something really bad, like what's something we haven't talked about much today? if Donald Trump let violent would-be murderers and criminals out of jail to roam free in the streets of America, would you still support him as president?
So you're talking as like pardon?
Yeah, if he gave full and complete presidential pardon to would-be murderers, criminals, and domestic terrorists, would you still support him as president?
Like I said, it would be situational on that as well.
But the situation would
why
be
is
attempted
he?
murderer, domestic terrorists.
But why would he be releasing them?
Oh, because he thinks they're patriots.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would disagree with that.
But would that decision make you stop supporting him as president?
Possibly.
Would it? Well, I mean, I don't want to possibly. I want, like, if he did this right now, like a minute from now, would you still consider yourself to be a Trump supporter?
Depending on what actually happened.
Okay. Terrorists tried to end our country, end our country's government, and our civil and electoral processes as we know it. In the process of doing so, they tried to kill people, and then they went to jail for it, and then he let them out of jail and labeled them as patriots. Would you still support him as president?
No.
Okay, that's actually exactly what he did. So the J6 riders that tried to end our civil and electoral processes as we know it by attempting to stop the free and fair election of 2020 were sent to jail, including 174 of them who tried to kill cops in the process, like DJ Rodriguez, who drove a stun gun into the neck of Officer Fanone, and then he went to jail for 10 years because of it. On January 21st of last year, Donald Trump gave them all full and complete presidential pardons and called them patriots. So this actually does mean that you are no longer a Trump supporter, and the reason why is because of something that happened over a year ago.
Okay.
So you're no longer a Trump supporter?
I support our nation's president.
Well, you just told me that you would stop supporting our nation's president if he did the thing I just proved he did.
Yeah, I'm not going to send support to him hearing that, but...
Okay, so you're no longer MAGA?
No.
Okay, great. I appreciate you so much for joining. You have a good rest of your day. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Yeah, it was. All right, guys. Only up inside of the queue of your MAGA. You know what? I actually have to check in with Isabella real quick. Isabella is a very devoted Trump supporter who has been for a very long time. But I actually want to see where she's at to see if she's still MAGA. But it looks like I accepted her invitation or her request to join the live, and then she ran.
Oh man!
Quick question for
brought
you.
Me up with Santana.
Yeah, quick question for you. Then I'm going to pass the mic to Santana.
He's been dodging me, dude.
Why is Donald Trump sexually exploiting people, then laughing about it, not enough to stop supporting him?
What are you talking to me?
Yeah, Santana. Did you have anything that you wanted to say there, though? I didn't want to cut you off.
No, I'll wait. Go ahead. You can go with this donut.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
hey,
why is Donald Trump
Santana,
sexually exploiting
no.
people, then calling it funny, not enough to stop supporting him as president? Please answer my question.
What are you talking about, Dean?
I'm talking about Donald Trump sexually exploiting some of the people that competed at his beauty pageants that he then turned around and laughed about.
Dean, cut it out with that low IQ stupid crap that you pull. Hey, I actually want to talk about.
No. Why is it like you?
What you've been saying about Iran?
No. Why is it like you?
Because it's just dumb stuff, Dean.
Why is it dumb?
You've lost this debate several times when you actually dive down to the facts of it. I'm not going to get into these stupid little arguments with you.
Wait. Why is it dumb and stupid?
This is what you're trying to do because you're scared.
Why is
to
it dumb,
actually
stupid, and little? Answer the question. Why is it dumb, stupid, and little?
Because it's dumb, stupid, and little, Dean.
Okay, so the answer is it's because it is. Okay, so that's a circular argument. Try better.
No, Dean, because that's all you do is like, oh, what about this? What about that? That's not
what about the bad
actual
things he's
debate,
done?
Dean.
Okay, well, explain to me why that's not an actual debate to point out something which I believe
Dean,
to be sufficiently
hey,
wrong in
Dean.
order to disqualify him from being a good president, such
Dean,
as
let me
supporting
hold you to the same standard.
Sexual
Let me
exploitation
hold you to
of
the
women.
same standard.
Sure. After
Let
you
me-
answer the
let me hold
question,
you
why
to
is
the
that
same
not enough to? After you answer the first question I asked you when you joined, why is that not enough to stop supporting
I'm
him as
going
president?
to hold you to, dude. If you keep talking over me, you just concede the fact that you're scared to actually debate.
You're
me.
running from the question, though. You're
Like
scared.
no, I'm not. I'm
Then
actually going to
answer.
hold you. I'm actually going to hold you to your same standard, Dean.
Okay,
Why
after
did
you answer my question,
support-
sure. After
why
you
did
answer my question, sure.
support-
You have to answer my question first.
Why, Dean? I'm trying to answer your question.
No, you're not, because you're
literally
asking
trying
me
to
a new
just
question
pin
about something
down.
I support. Meanwhile, the question that I asked you is
spurging.
why was Donald Trump doing that? Not enough to stop
Losing-
supporting him as president.
Fuck out of here. Stop saying that.
Stop
Listen,
spurging.
Okay, yeah. So you think that like shouting
Stop
obscenities?
You're spurging. You're spurging. You're spurging.
I think it's very.
You're literally spurging right now because you're so scared to actually debate me.
You're literally doing that because you know what you're saying is a fucked up slur. Like, stop it.
Okay.
Like you are literally shut up. You're doing that because you know that you want to get kicked, and that's the only out that you have. You don't want to answer Dean's question. You would rather get kicked instead of answering a question, and so you're trying to slur. Answer the question. Be a fucking adult. Stop being a piece of shit and just answer his question.
All right. Yeah.
Yes, I muted you.
Before you do, I want to make the following statement clear. The term spurging is a very derogatory term because it is supposed to represent somebody to be in possession of Asperger's, which, by the way, has also been phased out as a way to refer to certain masking levels of autism, because Asperger's was coined by a Nazi scientist. So, I mean, not only are we referring to like a derogatory concept that's been phased out because of who it was coined by and for the reasons it was coined, but you're also using it in a very like intentionally derogatory way of saying that, you know, this person is guilty of possessing Asperger's and it's making them do really bad or annoying things like lashing out, being aggressive, so on and so forth. So I'm going to make it clear. If you want to leave and run away from the live stream, feel free to say I'm spurging again, and I'm going to kick you because I think it's a very derogatory term. Incredibly ableist.
You guys are just going to keep
running
and doing this because you're...
that if you do use that word again, I will kick you, and that will be you digging your own grave, and that will be effectively you hitting the leave live button. But I want to be clear here. The question I asked you was, why is Donald Trump sexually exploiting beauty pageant contestants and laughing about it? Not enough to stop supporting him as president. I'm now going to give you the mic to answer that question. The floor is yours.
Okay, so first off, you're not going to pinpoint me down with these dumb conversations. Next thing, you guys also called me names, so don't sit there and be like, oh, don't call me names, but I'm going to call you a name. What did Santana literally just call me a second ago? So don't even... Okay, right off rip, you're going to interrupt me, Santana. Stop being so insecure.
I answered your question. You said, what did I call you? I said a donut.
No, okay. It literally, that's all you said, Santana?
Yes, I called you.
You didn't use any kind of. You didn't use any kind of derogatory term.
Oh, you mean just now when you were using derogatory?
You did not. You did not use any kind of derogatory term towards me, Santana.
I'm not gonna say anything. Keep crying.
I'm not the one crying. You guys are obviously the ones crying because you guys actually can't debate somebody who actually will debate you guys on these topics. Next thing, Dean, is you're trying to start off with these low IQ arguments to try to get a gotcha off rip because you know I'll actually burn you in a debate. So let's talk about the Iran post if you actually want to debate. I'm not going to get into these low IQ arguments with you so you can get a quick gotcha. That's all you're looking for. So if you actually want to debate me, let's debate.
Hey, I got a quick question, and Dean,
I'm not answering a question.
You probably haven't solved this yet, but I just did. Hey, you mute, you lose. Do you think it's acceptable for, let's say, the president of the United States to post on his social media account an American citizen literally getting murdered in real time? Would you support that?
Are you talking about that post of that immigrant that unalived somebody?
Would you support the president of the United States posting on his social media a real time murder? Are you okay with that?
I mean, it depends on what the context is. If he's showing a crime that occurred to bring awareness to people of how dangerous some of these people that these judges let go. For example, I'm trying to answer your question, Santana. I'm trying to answer your question. Can you let me actually respond? So when you actually look at the fact of like people like that Ukrainian woman that was unalived on that bus and how the judge let that man go. She's trying to, all of a sudden out of nowhere, this liberal judge is trying to say that this man's insane, even though he has a arrest record of like how many arrests, and he was never claimed to be insane beforehand.
You're not answering a question. You're not answering a question.
No. So
you're not answering a question.
So if you're sitting there,
you're not answering a question.
I'm directly answering the question, Santana. And second off, Santana, I'm not going to debate somebody that sits here and thinks that the Constitution was supposed to end every 20 years, like you've said.
Fucking God, I didn't
say
that.
$1,000?
I didn't
you
say that you donate. Thomas Jefferson said that.
You want to put $1,000?
Thomas Jefferson said. Thomas Jefferson said every 19 years.
You said on a live stream. I have a video of it. You want to put $1,000 on it?
Thomas Jefferson. That's a direct quote from Thomas Jefferson.
No, okay. Thomas Jefferson. You told somebody that the Constitution wasn't
I don't
supposed
give
to
a
last
fuck
forever.
about that.
That
Can
is
you just
supposed to
answer
be.
my question? Like,
I'm not going to talk to
Listen.
somebody that doesn't even.
Listen, I know that Santana does late night lives. I also know that he does early night lives. If you want to litigate a claim that Santana made on his
This
live,
is an easy W.
feel free to request to
Easy
join
dub.
his live. On this stream, we are talking to Trump supporters about why they're MAGA, but apparently not that Trump supporter, because he just ran away because
I apologize about
he
that,
was
Dean.
so scared. I don't even I was tuned out, bruh. I tuned out when he started to like go after you, and then I tuned back in after I looked at the clock and I was like, okay, bruh, it's like been 5 minutes. What is this guy doing? But what he was doing was he was deflecting away from the question I asked him. With trying to turn that question back on me. I don't even know what his question was going to be. I just cut him off and stopped him dead in his tracks. I didn't allow him to. And then when he realized that path wouldn't work because I don't allow deflections, he then started to attack you. And then it was like, very reasonably so, if you want to talk to Santana about something that he said on his live, go join his live. To hear we're debating about why people support Trump. And then he was out of option, so he ran and he left. If we just take all of his random words away and just evaluate that I asked him a question that he didn't answer, and then I asked him again and he left, I think it becomes clear how intelligent of a guy that he is. He's actually back. I scared him into coming back.
Are you guys going to keep muting me and talking over me? Because the moment you guys do that stuff, it just admits that you guys lost. It just admits that you guys lost. I'll just leave again. But if you actually want to debate me, I'm here. I'll just leave again if you guys keep doing the mute button, because that's literally just a concession that you guys lost.
This is a fucking Wendy's, not an airport. If you're gonna leave,
Santana,
leave. If
take
you're
your
gonna
hat
debate,
off
then
and shut
debate.
up. Hey, Santana, take your hat off.
Okay.
Take that hat off. Take that hat off.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for my.
Damn, I'm a little confused. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Damn.
Wait, are you checking me out? Yes, I'm handsome with and without a hat. I'm so confused.
I don't know about
like what does that have to do with it? Yes, I'm handsome regardless.
Wait. I just want to clarify.
The
counter argument is literally, haha, you have no hair. I feel like that perfectly
I didn't
sums
say
up.
that.
You're interrupting me. If you're gonna tell me, if you're gonna tell me that I lose the debate because I mute you, then you better you better not interrupt me. Okay? Listen, I will absolutely mute you.
You guys interrupt me.
There you go. I let you speak. I let you speak to Santana. I was sitting quiet, waiting for my turn. 2 words in, and you interrupt me. You have no right to say that if I mute you, I lose the debate, and then you're going to run away with a W when you won't even let me get 2 words in. In the same way, your username is, if you mute me, you lose. I wish I could make my username. If you interrupt, you're fucking muted, okay? So if you don't want me to mute you, don't interrupt me. And I will be especially mindful in this conversation to give you that same grace and not to interrupt you. Okay? But
Dean,
let's get back to the debate
here. Can I just say one thing on that? Can I just add one thing onto that real quick?
Almost, because I'm not done. No, I'm not done. Now let's get back to the debate here.
Back to the debate.
So the very first question, you are not going to interrupt. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. And now you're on mute because you interrupted. Let's get back to the debate here. The very first question that I asked you was, how can you still support Trump as president, given that he sexually exploited people, then laughed about it? Then all you had to say in response is that I'm trying to run some type of stupid gotcha on ya, and you'd rather debate me about something that matters. So that in of itself is an admittance that if you were to engage in the argument that Donald Trump did or did not sexually exploit these women and girls, that ultimately you'd be got. Because it's a losing argument.
What physical evidence do you have of this actually happening?
No argument otherwise.
What physical evidence of this do you actually have?
Do you take Donald Trump admitting to guilt to be physical evidence?
What physical evidence do you actually have?
Do you take Donald Trump admitting guilt to be physical evidence?
Dean, you've done this several times and you've gotten owned on the same point. Stop trying to
Can you answer my clarifying question?
He didn't admit to going in young girls' locker room or young girls' things.
Wait, I never said that. I just said that he sexually exploited the beauty pageant contestants. Listen, my claim is that Donald Trump exploited beauty pageant contestants sexually.
He walked in on a bunch of girls.
So
is that what you're saying?
So what he did?
Are you saying underage girls or older women?
I'm not mentioning age. I'm just saying people.
Okay, not only that, do you have actual people that have reported this and came out and said this?
Yes.
Okay, when did they come out and say anything about it?
When they were asked about it, which is when
what
Donald
year?
Trump. Oh, don't interrupt me.
What year?
Don't
I'm
interrupt
asking
me.
you when.
I'm trying to tell you.
when.
I'm trying to tell you. They
You
came out
didn't.
about
You just
it.
said when
I
they
can't
came when they
tell
were
you
asked
shit.
about
This
it.
is why I mute you. That right there is why when I mute you,
I
I do
asked
not
you when-
lose because when I mute you, you're interrupting me. So you asked
No,
me
I asked
two
you-
questions actually. You asked me,
I asked you-
A, did they come out about it? And then B, when they came out about it. By the end of this statement, you will know what year they came out about it. Sit tight and buckle up because it won't be a long statement. They came out about it when they were asked about it. When were they asked about it? When Donald Trump originally started running for the presidency in 2015. Why were they asked about it in 2015 but not before 2015? Because that's when Donald Trump gained mainstream political notoriety with his announcement that he'd be running for president with the RNC backing him. And that's when major media sources then turned around, scoured this guy's background to find anything they could, and they found him admitting to sexual exploitation. So then they went to the women that competed, and the girls, by the way, that competed at these beauty pageants, and they asked them, we have this clip of Donald Trump admitting to sexually exploiting you guys in 2005. Is this true? And then, yeah, like 6 of them were like, yeah, that is true. This actually did happen. Thank you for asking me about this. I remember that. That sucked.
Yeah, can I finally respond to this ridiculous scenario you've just gotten yourself in? So
Yes.
you just admitted, right, that this happened when he was running for president, just like all these other claims that popped up when he was running for president. He to sit here and say, oh, they only did it because he was running for president. This man was a billionaire. This man was always in the spotlight. He had his own shows. He had all of these things, right, of people that could have put him on blast a long time ago, right? People get caught all the time doing stuff like that, and they get canceled for it. They get in trouble for it. Nobody wants to deal with them for these things. If this happened, why didn't they say anything before? Why didn't they say anything when he could actually get punished for the crime? To come out when he's running for presidency and have all these allegations against him, that's why nobody believes this mess. Not only that, I asked you for physical evidence. Do you have him on video camera? Do you have him a photo? Do you have anything other than these people's testimony that who knows if these people were paid? You know, I could easily sit there and speculate. But it's just insane. You don't have any physical evidence other than Donald Trump saying that he went into girls' dressing rooms, and who knows if these girls didn't want him to go in there. He was around a lot of women a lot of the time. A lot of these women were chasing rich billionaire men. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of women that just want billionaires. To sit here and give off this notion that Donald Trump did that and he was just not held accountable when he could have easily been held accountable. It doesn't matter if he owned the building or not. If they wanted to press charges on him, they could have absolutely found a police officer and got him arrested for that. If not, then they really can't say anything about it because they didn't report it. If you don't report a crime because the suspect doesn't be held accountable for that crime, that's not his fault for the fact that he wasn't arrested for it. You have every single right to report it and actually have something done about it.
I just want to make a quick statement and say Donald Trump was sued over 4,000 times before he ever came down the golden escalators to run for president. He also has 26 credible sexual assault allegations. And yeah, when people run for political office, usually there is a deep dive into their background. I mean, like, that's why they do background checks before you officially declare. And that's why, there's multiple instances in the history throughout politics where people have lost, an actual political campaign due to their character and things that are brought up from their past. So that's just
okay. So
and
the
then to
fact
add
that
on
he
top of
won,
that,
what does that tell you, Santana? The fact that he won two elections. What do you have to say about that, Santana? Because the evidence was presented to the public, and the public absolutely 2 times found that it wasn't just, it wasn't worthy of any credibility. The fact that millions of people voted for him based on the fact that these allegations most people can see that they're fraud. If Donald Trump won every single swing state, Donald Trump won the election in a landslide, Donald Trump won the popular vote, which a Republican hasn't done for over 20 years. The fact that Donald Trump wiped the floor with Kamala Harris, even after all these fake polls. Whatever her name is, she's irrelevant at this point because she's she doesn't. She's not the president, so I don't really care.
He does. He's a yapper.
He is a yapper.
He's like a little chihuahua.
He is.
Do you debate? Do you debate anything that I just said?
So,
how about you attack my points instead of my character?
Yeah. Well, I'll attack.
How about you attack my points?
What
do you disagree with what I just said?
We can't speak if you won't stop speaking. That's why you keep getting muted. You don't stop. Like, shut up and let Dean talk. That's why I didn't reply to you.
Why won't you let me debate you one-on-one, Dean? Why do you always have to have somebody up here whenever
I was here before you? You almost called him an idiot.
Did you drop the idiot?
I almost called him a idiot.
That's why Dean brought you up, was because I was coming up here.
What?
Santana.
He's so egotistical.
Santana.
That's crazy. It's fine. It's fine. It's just delusional. Listen, I'll respond to the points that you made. So the first point that you made is, well, why did they all come out about it in 2015? Well, that's the first time that they were asked by mainstream media. And then you asked, well, he was poppin' and popular and famous and a billionaire before 2015, so why didn't they come out about it then? Well, a lot of mainstream media doesn't really care what non-political billionaires do. My evidence would be the lack of mainstream media coverage of Jeffrey Epstein prior to his arrest in 2019.
That's a lie.
That would be my evidence. My evidence is the fact that there are so many rich and famous people inside of the Epstein files whose names we still don't know because the mainstream doesn't really care unless it's political. And by the way, this is a really big critique of even the mainstream media sources on the left. I want to point that one out too. They didn't care that Donald Trump was a piece of shit until Donald Trump was a Republican running for president, and we gotta fix that. We just got to. We just simply have to fix that. We should care about all pieces of shit, even those that are not Republicans running for president. But that aside, there's no question to the fact that Donald Trump did this, because it's not just the accusations from the women and girls that I'm using to corroborate the notion that he did. It's that he admitted to it in 2005. That is the key piece of evidence that we cannot forget, that we cannot circumnavigate around, and that we cannot leave out of this conversation, because that admittance of guilt in 2005 forgoes your silly pedantic
dude, if you're not going to take this debate serious, I'm just going to
mute. That forgoes.
I'm just going to get out of here. If you're going to,
I know you're going to run. You're more than welcome to run.
You're not going to address any of my points. I'm leaving, dude.
You're more than welcome to run.
Scared of me? No, dude. You literally just didn't address any of my points. You literally just went on a whole nother rhetoric spree.
You ramble for 5 minutes. Please let him speak.
On actual,
the point, the first point that you made.
Hey, dude,
is that all these people. Thank you. No, you're leaving. You're leaving. I could explain to you how I did just address your point. Literally, your first point was that we shouldn't believe this occurred because they only came out in 2015 when he was running for president, because he was a rich and famous billionaire before then. Why didn't they come up before then? This means that we have some credible reason to dispute the validity of their testimony, and they probably just did so because he was a Republican running for office and they could have been paid too. That was your first point. I was in the middle of addressing your first point. Then you interrupted me, said I wasn't addressing any of your points, and you said that you're going to leave. I said, feel free to run away. And then I started describing to you how I actually was addressing your point. Thank you so much for making a fucking fool out of yourself, you little incompetent, spineless boy with no brain, with no fucking common sense, and just a whole lot of anger and resentment that you hold against victims because you want to uplift the perpetuators of violent sex crimes. Oh my God, you're disgusting. You're gross.
Yeah, I'll just say, like, that's why I don't engage with him, because I mean he has the inability to actually hold a conversation, and even more so, brings nothing to the actual debate. That was very pointless. I could have called that one. He sucks.
Yeah. No fucking way. Santana, you will not believe this.
What's that?
Are you asking?
For those of you guys on YouTube who can't see the TikTok screen, she's back again.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Cry again.
I got one thing to say before I win.
No one cares. No, really, truly, genuinely, honestly, no one cares.
Hey man, what you got to say? The mic and the floor are yours.
Oh yeah, you're going to mute me.
No, they're yours,
like
bro. Take it away.
The fact that you keep letting me up...
he did fucking ban. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. We got them loaded up into the box right now. All right, perfect. No one cares. Fuck you. Hi, welcome in, Maximus. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do, Dean. How's it going?
It's going all right. How old are you?
Me, I'm 18.
Wait, are you born in?
Yeah, 2007.
Okay, I have a couple of people to thank, then we'll pass that mic and the floor to you. Beth, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat, who says, I hope that this guy never has daughters. I would be terrified of going through the world knowing that my father thinks like he does. I know. I hope that guy's a lonely Chud Maxine incel. I really do. Thank you for the $20. Lizzie, thank you for the $10, who says he's dumb and smart at the same time. Dumb and stupid. I don't know why I read smart. He's dumb and stupid, lol. Yeah, no, he's very stupid. Bob, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. Thank you so much for that love, Bob. Show some love to Bob down below in that comment section. Thank you so much. That is beyond kind of you. Huge shout out to Bob down below. Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Bob. On Venmo, thank you so much, Allie, for the $10. Sending another $10 because I'm a DNC bot too. Then Sun with the $10 who says, keep espresso out of politics. Coffee is inherently political. Is coffee inherently political? What a good question. I mean, I feel like you could really drill down a lot of things as being inherently political. Wow. Holy shit. Beatrice. Thank you so very much for the $200 donation on PayPal. Show some love to Beatrice down below in that chat. That is fucking insane. Thank you so much, Beatrice. Let's get 2,000 Beatrice W's down below in that chat from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, Beatrice. That is so much more than I would ever deserve. And I'm just so taken aback by your kindness, genuinely. Thank you so much, Beatrice. Beatrice with the $200 says, I hope that you take some time to detach and enjoy life with your girlfriend because you deserve it. Keep teaching. Thank you, Beatrice. It's really hard for me to detach. It's really hard. And honestly, sometimes this is personal. But you know, it's just an interesting like psychological phenomena where I kind of like envy the people in a sense that do have that ability to detach. You know, it's not like I want to be detached all the time, but it like would be nice to like be able to like just detach for a couple hours for like a date night. You know what I mean? Like it would. And sometimes I just, God, I envy people's ability to do that. I to an extent I do. Thank you so much for the $200, Beatrice. Show some love to Beatrice down below in the comment section. Megan, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. Let's get to her, Megan W's, who says, me and my kids are autistic and I was unaware of the derogatory term this caller used. Thank you for catching it and calling it out in real time. Ableism is so insidious and JFK Jr. hasn't helped. You're welcome, Megan. I appreciate you for the $20. It's like a new derogatory way to refer to people. I think it was made by Andrew Wilson. It like literally just like a coined derogatory nonsensical phrase. It's shitty.
I actually learned that one from you. Like I heard you talking about it one day and I went and looked it up and learned that specifically from you. So that's the reason why I know to call it out.
Yeah, and I like remember like Andrew Wilson like using that against me like years ago, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And you know, I made like the connection to Asperger's because you know it's like spurging. Okay, spurg would be the last syllable of Asperger's. It's really derogatory. It's really bad. So I mean, if you guys ever hear that phrase, just know that it's a very derogatory term. And I think I just have one more person to thank here. Thank you so much to Amber for the $33 donation. Show some love to Amber down below in that comment section. Let's get 300 Amber W's. Thank you so much, Amber. Who says, Trump supporters always argue that he wouldn't be president if he really did sexually exploit. Truth is, Trump voters don't care about women. They all know he's gross, but it doesn't disqualify him in their eyes. Abso-fucking-lutely, Amber. Go ahead, Santana.
Really quick, for anyone that's been sending donations, guys, check your pay links. I'm sending you direct messages back to say thank you to speed it up. But a couple of really quick ones. Tess, thank you so much for the 20. Yeah, I always have a chef hat. Chelsea, thank you so much for the 20. I really appreciate the fact that I get to share some time with you guys. And also, Gabby, holy fuck. W's in chat for Gabby for the $100 donation, and this was earlier. It says so you can get matching espresso machines with Dean and Parker. Thank you so much for that.
Maximus.
Yeah,
I appreciate you for coming up, and I appreciate you for your patience.
Yeah,
I
no
guess
problem.
I did bring you in first, Isabella. I would really appreciate if you could hang out because I'd like to talk to you. But
Bro,
Maximus,
and then you just said all that. You brought me up here to wait that long just to.
Well, I brought Maximus up first, but I brought you up because I saw you in the queue and I wanted to grab you because I want to talk to you.
Oh, well, then I left because I was like, this is taking too long. But then I joined again.
I guess let me quickly ask you, are you still a Trump supporter, Isabella?
Oh, I'll just like wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to go on a little bit. Can I go really quick? I just really love to debate you.
Bro.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, I support Trump. I think what he does is good, but I don't support him as a person, you know what I mean?
So why do you support him as a president?
I think he does good for the country. I think some things that he does, not really a big fan of, but I mean, I do support him. I didn't get to vote because I wasn't old enough at the time, but my family votes. But I just want to say, why do you think that it's all right for the immigrants to be in this country? Like, I think that every immigrant that should come to our country should have a document, should know the country. You know what I mean? Like, my family from Italy, they came here, and of course they came on a visa, but they came through Ellis Island, and they had to learn the language. They had to work their way up to get their citizenship. These people are coming in without anything. Like, I don't understand that. Like, can you just like help me explain here?
What do you want me to explain to you?
I agree.
Yeah, like it's just like our ancestors came here, well, at least my ancestors, probably the 50s, the 60s, through Ellis Island, and they how do I say it? They came here legally with their papers.
Okay.
My name is on the wall. I'm just saying.
So in short,
why do these?
immigrated.
Yeah, they legally immigrated here, and I don't support. And I don't think it's fair that these people are coming across illegally and stealing job opportunities for Americans, stealing job opportunities for our citizens. I just don't understand why. And why do you support that they could steal our jobs?
Oh yeah. So stealing something from somebody means to
Okay, all right.
take
Don't.
something.
Okay, go. Never mind.
The fuck are you saying? What do you mean? Don't what?
No, because you're gonna be like stealing.
That he said.
So
you're gonna say stealing something else. Just go. I'm sorry, my bad.
So to steal something from somebody at a very fundamental level would definitely include taking something from somebody. So the only way that undocumented immigrants could be stealing jobs is if they genuinely took job opportunity. But that's not true. They create job opportunity. What do you think happens when they save us from 3 recessions and generate not just economic activity, but a surplus of $14.3 trillion over the course of the last 30 years and input $1.1 through $1.7 trillion to the GDP per year? They create job opportunity by increasing the productive capacities of our countries, which would include accounting for 8.4 million of our laborers and 12 million of our consumers. Also, not to mention that they pay over $100 billion per year in taxes, which is then used to subsidize our industries, give social safety nets to low and middle income Americans, so then they could then they have more money to spend on American goods. All of these things amount to a better economy with more job opportunity and opportunity for everybody, not just them. So that's why I completely disagree with the notion that undocumented immigrants are stealing or taking anything, economically speaking.
Sorry, can I just interrupt you real quick? So, I don't agree with that. First of all, they're not. I'm saying the undocumented, the illegal aliens that come here, they're taking our job opportunities because there's say I want to get a job. The illegals come here, no papers. Well, wow, it's not going to happen now. But okay, enough. They were coming before Trump was in because they came in through the border because Biden and Kamala didn't do anything. But they came across our border and they're stealing.
Real quick, I just need to point this out. My biggest issue with a lot of people who do this, it's not just you, is you make a claim, I prove it wrong, and then you repeat the claim. But when you repeat the claim the second time, you load it with a bunch of other bullshit. Mm-hmm. It's like the first time around, you said that, undocumented immigrants steal job opportunity from legal immigrants. Then I prove you wrong. I give you data, give you hard data from the Khalil Institute and the American Immigration Center to prove you wrong.
Yeah, you're looking on Google right now.
No, I've just had this conversation before, so I know what the data is. Mm-hmm. Now,
then
you ignore that, and then you just merely repeat the claim, But then when you repeat the claim the second time, you make sure to also add in that Biden and Harris didn't do anything and let all these people in. You make sure to also add in calling them illegal aliens. You make sure to also add in all these like other things, right? And like hopes that you will muddy the water and kind of distract away from the fact that you completely got cooked with the first sentence I said with the data that proves they actually generate more job opportunity. And that's that. So if we could please stick on topic with a refutation of the data that I provided you, because if the data that I provided with you is correct, then you are wrong. So it is now your job to either concede to the data or dispute the data.
Know what? I'll admit I'm wrong. It's on me. But can I move to another topic? I just want to get a couple in here. I'm wrong. You don't gotta laugh. I'm wrong. Whatever.
Are you gonna stop saying that though? Like, are you just admitting that you're wrong just so you can move on, or are you like, did you actually take in the information Dean gave you?
No, I did. Yeah, just the numbers and shit. I was a little confused on, but I'll understand. I get another point. Why do you think that we should tax the I guess what is it, the 5%, like the highest, people that make the most money in the world? You know what I'm talking about? The wealthiest people. Why should we tax them more of their income? Because I'm just going to put myself in a situation. If I was the top 5% and I made, say, $1 billion a year and I had a business and they want to tax me, I'm making as much money as I can for myself. And I'm pausing my business and I'm stopping, and they're not going to have jobs because I don't want my money being taken away if I just keep working and working. I just don't understand. You guys want to tax the people that make the money, but they have the jobs for everyone. Like, it just doesn't really make any sense to me.
I think that you'd be better benefited by a sit-down conversation with people who are smart in economics compared to a quote-unquote debate. Like, this isn't even a call for debate. This is just a call for education. So first and foremost, people who make $1 billion a year from their business don't pause their business. They will never pause their business. If it is the start last doing that thing if their money keeps getting taken by the government. They will know. They do not pause their business. Never. End of story. There's no way around it. People will die and they won't pause their business. Business owners will kill people if it means not pausing their business. They will never. Okay, if they're making $1 billion per year, they will never pause their business until the day that, we're literally killing the earth because they refuse to, quote unquote, pause the business or find a better way to do it that would include lower profit margins. There's 51,000. Go ahead. Whatever. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, then can I just call out the United Health CEO that got murdered? They still had, he was on his way to a board meeting. They still had that board meeting after he was killed. Really good example. They still had that board meeting.
Really good. Honestly, Santana, great example.
That doesn't have anything with what I was saying, though.
It does. Because they won't even, quote unquote, pause business for one meeting in one day, even though their CEO got fucking murdered in broad daylight.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'll just say, I'll add on and say the fact that you think for some reason the top 1% is like working harder than everyone else and they shouldn't pay a fair tax wage, that's kind of insane. Did you know that the top 18 people own about 70% of all the world's wealth?
Yeah, and I think that's how this country's built off of. You realize the people that...
What sense does
hold
that
on
make
one
to
second.
Wait, hold on. Just to verify, you think that 18 people having 70% of the entire world, not the country, the entire world's wealth, you think that's logical?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't really get that.
The 18 richest people in the world have about 70% of all the wealth in the world.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Logical.
Yeah, okay. They work for that money. They started up companies. If it was inherited, whatever.
Elon Musk inherited emerald mines from his dad and then exploited people and then lived off government contracts to make billions of dollars. Like he's not this hardworking genius innovator. Like he literally inherited emerald mines and then bought companies and then exploited people and resources and then scared people into developing new technology for him. Like that's what you're saying is just nonsensical. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. I got one more point. Do you agree that men, or I guess you should say transgender men or women, they should be in the same locker rooms because I know that's not allowed anymore. But
Are you
were.
just spamming points and like not actually engaging with anything? What's happening?
I am. I told you I don't have I have a certain amount of time here. You know what I'm talking about? I gotta.
I think that you are just asking questions, and there's no problem with asking questions. I appreciate you for asking questions, but I should preface that this is a debate live where we'll hopefully go back and forth, and this is why I highly recommend to people like you who more so just want to like figure something out about maybe the views of those that sit on the other side of the aisle compared to yourself, to maybe tune into the live stream and hear me out for what I have to say, because many of these questions can be answered just by, listening to the debates. And like I said, no problem with asking questions. I would much rather prefer you to ask me why I think trans women should be able to use a women's restroom.
Yeah.
Compared to have you believe that they shouldn't. At least you're kind of exploring truth, so I can't hate you for that.
Yeah. Why do you think that a woman, well, I guess I don't even know what you would call it. A woman that, a man, I'm going to call it, hold on one second. I'm going to call it a man. And then they transition to a woman. They have a penis. The man has a penis, and then it turns into a woman.
Okay.
It goes into a woman's locker room.
Yeah, and why are you so obsessed with transgender people? Like, how many transgender people do you know?
I take it back. You just spammed it.
Exactly. Like, you're sitting here and you're vilifying people. One, you don't know transgender people. Two, they're less than 1% of the United States population. Three, they're just people that want to live. Like, you guys are so infatuated with what's in people's pants, what people do in their bedrooms. You guys are just weirdos. Like, it's so obsessive and weird.
Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. I really am, but I just really want to ask that question because you guys didn't really answer my question. Why do you think it's all right that a male that has a penis that transitions to a woman is able to go into a woman's locker room? Like, if I had a daughter, I really wouldn't think she would feel comfortable, and a lot of them didn't, and they really didn't use the bathroom a lot. I just really want you to follow
about the locker room conversation. I understand why somebody would be uncomfortable seeing a penis in a locker room, because I'm uncomfortable when I see a penis in the men's locker room at my gym, and I'm a cis man, so I get that. That's why I advocate for. Oh God, what?
No, nothing. Never mind.
And this is why I advocate for individual, genderless changing stalls. Like, I think that we should just abolish the concept of everybody getting naked in one big room for an event. Like, that's just weird. Personally, not.
No, I honestly, I do.
But
agree with,
now
I do
we want to
agree with you on
reframe
that.
it from locker rooms to bathrooms. The reason why I think that trans women should be able to use a women's restroom is because it's safer for the women.
Okay. I don't agree with that. Why do you think that they have different genitals?
Okay. Yeah, it's
they could look the same. They could call themselves a they or a them. That doesn't.
Are they checking genitals at the door? Like, when's the last time you went into the bathroom and someone would say, "Hey, let me see what's in your pants"?
Santana.
Maximus, answer the question. When have you walked into the bathroom and someone said, "Hey, let me look and see what's inside of your pants"?
Nothing, because if somebody did that to me, I'd punch them in the face.
Right. They just let you go use the bathroom.
How would you feel if, because a lot of these transgender people are on I don't know how you say it, what it was, the medication estrogen, they're on different, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the word. You do know what I'm saying.
Hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah, hormone replacement therapy, and that really twists their brain. That makes them crazy. Their hormones go all over the place.
Fuck it doesn't.
Yes,
no, it doesn't.
There's
no, it does
school
not.
Shooting. There's been school shootings.
No.
A lot of them have been
Maximus,
transgenders.
no, the fuck it does not. One, you're not a medical professional, so don't try to pretend to play one on TikTok. Two, that's a bold-faced lie. Hormone replacement therapy does not cause any type of negative impacts to your brain where it quote-unquote twists it. Like, you're just making shit up because you don't know anything.
And listen.
I'm sorry, Dean.
Listen, every so often you do see a trans person, commit a mass shooting. And that trans person is crazy. But not because they're trans. Now, why do I say this? Well, because more frequently, we'll see cis people engage in mass shootings. Actually, in the last 4 years, there's been 4,400 categorized mass shootings by the FBI. Only 4 of them have been committed by trans people, which is disproportionately low in consideration to their representation of the population. So they're actually less likely to engage in mass shootings than cis people. But then the question should be, when we see cis people being more likely to engage in mass shootings, do we say that therefore cis people are crazy? There's some problem with being cis. There's something wrong with being cis because they're even more likely than trans people to engage in mass shootings. That's so crazy. This is probably the first time anybody's ever uttered that statement. Like, no one would think of that in a billion years, that there's something innately wrong or fucked up with being cis because they're more likely to engage in mass shootings. But then for whatever reason, not when trans people are even less likely than cis people to engage in mass shootings, and in fact, we're not even talking about likelihoods or propensities, we just identify one example, all of a sudden then being trans is a mental illness and you're crazy because of this one example of a mass shooting. See, that's the issue. Isabel, I appreciate you for your patience. Do you still support Trump?
Sorry. Yes, I do.
Oh, God. Isabella, you said that your support was weaning like a month ago. Welcome back on. Why was Donald Trump threatening to genocide 90 million people not enough? And in fact, I thought of you when Donald Trump did threaten to genocide 90 million people because I remember
of what
asking
I said,
you,
yeah.
what's one thing Donald Trump could do to get you to stop supporting him? And you said if he was to genocide a bunch of Christians. Well, threatening to genocide all Iranians is not the same thing identically to actually genociding a bunch of Christians, but it definitely falls within that same category. So why is Donald Trump threatening to genocide 90 million people not enough?
So when did this happen and when did he say this?
2 days ago on Truth Social.
Oh my gosh. Truth Social again.
Yes.
And you remember what I said about Truth Social too.
What did you say? What's the
I literally said just take Gramps freaking X away and then we'll be fine. Like, we can't literally take him seriously when it comes to that app.
But dude, it is a threat of genocide from a man that's already killed 2,200 of their civilians, already bombed 160 of their girls, killed their leader, destroyed their civilian infrastructure, engaged in war crimes, backed by the world's most powerful military. You're not going to sit here and tell me that we shouldn't take a threat of genocide
what did he say word for word
seriously.
in that post?
And I quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will."
And did it happen?
No.
Exactly. So, like I said, we can't take him seriously.
I think that a threat of genocide is enough to stop supporting somebody, even if they don't
And
actually
also, like I
genocide
said too, he doesn't he's not always the one.
Can you think of like something worse to threaten than the genocide of 90 million people?
I mean, could do like the Holocaust type beat.
Holocaust was a genocide of 12 million people. By the numbers.
So yeah, that'd be greater, though. That'd be bigger and worse.
90 million is a greater number than 12 million.
Wait.
So what's something worse than threatening to genocide 90 million people?
I mean, probably to like take it over and everything and do that, like Hitler wanted to do.
Wait, so taking over the country is worse than genociding 92 million people?
Genociding them and then taking over.
How can you genocide them and take them
like
over?
Hitler?
Well, he said that he was going to wipe out the civilization, meaning it's completely gone. How can you take over someone if he eliminates the entire civilization?
Like their territory.
So
like
you mean
their whole land and like expand? Like he wipes them out and then takes over their entire country and then we expand into their
Okay,
republic.
he's also advocated for taking certain portions that Iran has access to when it comes to oil. So would that count?
But wasn't his whole agenda like running on America first and trying to expand our oil though?
He wanted to drill more, but that doesn't have anything to do with him like trying to what is the island called? It's like Kurig or something like that. He wanted to actually take that island, that area that belongs to Iran. So like does those two things then, since he's taking land and he's threatening to genocide people, does that now meet the level where you would stop supporting him?
I just don't think we need to keep taking everything he says so literal.
Can we just get a yes or no? I'm sorry. Can we just get a yes or no? Is him literally threatening to genocide 90 million people as the most powerful man alive that's already been trying to take their land, has already killed 2,200 of their civilians? I don't want a buddy did. I want a yes or no. Is that enough for you to stop supporting Trump? Yes or no?
But he didn't.
I'm not asking you if he actually did. I'm asking you, is this enough, just the threat alone, to stop supporting him? Yes or no?
But he didn't threaten it.
Yes, he did threaten it. He said, and I quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again." That is a threat of genocide.
But he didn't say it himself.
He did say that himself. That was him.
No, that was like online and everything too. Like it wasn't.
Wait. Am I online right now?
Yes.
So am I saying everything that's leaving my mouth myself?
Yeah, but he didn't do it on like a live stream or anything.
Okay, so if I were to like, I don't know, for instance, in the chat, say, Isabella, you suck. I just hit send. Did I myself just say you suck?
Well, we saw it. That's why we don't know what's going on behind the screen.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna go
to it as well. His
I'm gonna so if he was the one that typed that and sent it, okay, then would have he been the one saying it himself?
Well, yeah, if we knew that for sure.
Okay, perfect.
And, like,
so we
saw
do know
the
that.
live stream.
So we do know that for sure, because it was a statement.
No,
by the
because he
president.
also has he literally said that other people have access to that account before, like when other things had been posted on it.
Dude, it's
Direct
him.
trusted people.
I like if anybody else has access to that account, it's because they're posting what he wants them to post.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's what everyone's saying.
No, he's been very clear that there's like only a handful of people that he trusts with the password to his social media accounts, and he's very adamant that he posts the stuff, or if there's someone who has access to it, it's directly in line with the things that he wants posted. So, like, regardless if that was him directly or one of his surrogates, it's in line with his ideology and what he would normally do.
Let's just ask it this way: if he said that himself, then would you stop supporting him?
If I saw for sure that he typed it like on a live stream like you just did and hit send and said this and all this out loud, then yes. But we have no evidence for that. And
Okay. Well, actually, yeah. My evidence is Caroline Leavitt's press conference.
Okay, and
You're no longer a Trump supporter. Caroline Leavitt was asked about it today. She affirmed that it was
And
a
what'd she
statement from the
say?
president. It was a statement from the president, and then she talked about the statement from the president and put her spin on it.
and what was her spin?
Who fucking knows?
Exactly, because he's not doing it. That's the thing. Like everyone takes his
the
so
administration
seriously.
affirmed he's the one who sent that threat, though.
But I still agree with my previous statement where I was like, literally, we just need to stop looking at his text and then boom.
Oh, okay,
like,
but you're no longer a Trump
I don't wanna
supporter.
be mad.
You just said that
No, I
if you
still
knew
do.
Donald Trump had sent that text, you'd stop supporting him.
No, because I literally no.
I just proved to you that he sent that text because Caroline Leavitt said so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not
Hey,
for fact. And he hasn't done it either. So I'm
Hold on, give me
still
1
because of
second,
his other
Isabella,
policies.
if you don't mind. Dean, I'm gonna let you have this. You can go ahead with it. I appreciate you having me up, bro.
I appreciate
Also, Angelica, thank you for the one. Thank you for being a first-time donor. Have fun, bro. Now, hopefully, you can get through to her.
You take care, Santana. Thank you for joining. Isabella, you said, and I quote, "If I could prove to you that Donald Trump sent that message himself, you would no longer support Trump." I did prove that because
I
that's
saw a
what Caroline
video
Leavitt said.
and he sent it, but no, I still agree because he hasn't done it. He's
So you've
not
changed your
going
mind.
to do it.
So you've
and we
changed your
can't
mind.
take-
So you've changed your
No,
mind.
I'm not.
But you just said that if he sent that message on his Truth Social,
If
then
I
you'd stop
saw
supporting
it
him.
for a fact is what I said. And
Okay, but
I
like, why
didn't
is
see it. There's no
why is it
evidence.
the entire administration has said it was his? They defend it.
Okay, and but
As if
he
it
still
was
didn't do
business
it,
per
and he's
usual.
not going to do it. And
Okay,
like
but
I
that doesn't
said,
that doesn't matter because you said if you knew he sent that statement on Truth Social, then you would stop supporting him.
I said if I saw him doing
I
it
know,
on a live
but
stream like
would
this,
amount what would be tantamount to enough evidence. What's the difference between knowing he sent that text message by seeing it on a
Because-
live stream, or knowing he sent that message by the whole administration, including himself, and attesting to that?
because he didn't actually have to type it. Someone else could have typed it for him, and so that's not really him saying that.
Oh my God. Okay, listen, Isabella, this is my last time having you up on the live stream. You're too far gone. You don't use your brain. Good night and goodbye.
No, I'm not.
Thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat, Tan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tan. Same thing to you, Lizzie, for the $10. She says, Cat Dad Deem. Appreciate you so much for that love, Lizzie. That is very, very kind of you. And then Kenna, thank you for the $10 as well. He says, I hate when people say you shouldn't take him seriously. He's a president. Right? And then, let's see here. Sniper, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat, who says, hey, Dean, you missed my donation 2 days ago, but I love you, and I just want to let you know what did Emily mean by California seeing a red wave? Because I heard Republicans got caught cheating, and I wanted your opinion. You're talking about Emily Wilson. Nobody fucking knows what Emily Wilson means outside of Emily Wilson because she's just so incoherent. And honestly, Emily Wilson might not even know what Emily Wilson means. Yeah, just don't even pair of mine. Then Brandon and Dylan, thank you guys for the $10 and the $4 over at PayPal. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. As well as Phil, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Says her brain is full of orange goo, apparently, right? And then Jesse, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. He says, here's some more money from the DNC of the Rothschilds. Hey, Jesse, by the way, I hope that you're well. You've been watching us since we had like 3 viewers, literally. You've been one of the longest running viewers of the stream. So just know that I really appreciate you. And then Joseph, thank you. Thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. And by the way, that's a really good recommendation, Joseph. And then Phil, thank you for the 15, who says, is there any way I could watch your full previous lives other than YouTube? Listening to you when I'm at work helps. The full lives only exist on YouTube, but like cut down episodes are on Spotify. And then Holly, thank you for the $5 as well. Folks, with that, we have been live for 4.5 hours, so we are going to go ahead and end now. I'm going to hop off. God, what a day. What a crazy day. Make sure to hit that follow button on your way out on TikTok. I do this every single day. I'll see you tomorrow. Same thing with dropping a sub over on YouTube. But I appreciate you guys so much for showing up today. Peace, love, good night, and goodbye.